Well, a good afternoon to you. It's 7 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time, and welcome to The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo Lehuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. We are coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. The Upside is back where they belong. Listen, we had a fun time in Richards Bay last week. My sinuses are still recovering. Over the last day or two, I think I've almost 99% recovered. It was humid, it was windy, but we had a fantastic time at this year's Tourism Investment Forum Africa. Relive some of those moments on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Or alternatively, go to www.channelafrica.co.za. Good afternoon to you, Mmatsheko Mosito, and happy spring, happy new month.
Happy spring. Yes. I don't like your tone, though. I don't like your tone.
Which tone?
The tone of we're back where we belong. Don't you think we belong out there?
Listen,
by the beach? Like, what is wrong with you?
We do belong on the beach. And actually, can you imagine a
broadcast from there?
Can you imagine a broadcast by the beach, by the safari, in the wilderness? Man, management, let's make it happen. Our producers there on the other side, management is listening. You are listening at home. Please sign that petition. The upside must be outside. If that makes sense.
Upside, outside.
The upside must be outside.
Thank you, son.
Thank
now
you
I like your tone. now you're speaking English. Thank you for joining us. We really are just kidding. We're very excited to be back. And thank you always for your listening ear. If you were out and about with us as we brought you sights and sounds last week at TIFA 2025, then we're grateful that you're back with us, because we've got another splendid week that is lined up for you starting today. We're going to be, there's all sorts of things to talk about, okay, as we begin the new month. Things like electricity tariff increases. Very, very important to know. Electricity tariff increases are sparking concern for consumers and labor groups, and that's just one of the conversations we're going to have as we really look at, sort of solutions. It's going to be a solution-based conversation coming up as we kickstart.
It's a solution-based show indeed, because we later on have a conversation with Dr. Danilo Duplessis, performing the very first successful robotic kidney donor surgery in South Africa. He's in a 3D little capsule and is operating a whole machine, a whole robot to do surgery. And I am very excited about this because it's very futuristic. But question is, would you go under the knife and allow a robot to operate you? That's a question, and I'm asking you, Mmatsheko. You can think about it, and I'm asking you at home. Let us know on our WhatsApp line, +276 406 9126. It's 10 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to a brand new month of The Upside.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix.
Wewe ni mjasiriamali, unajihusisha na biashara ya kuuza dawa. Jaribu kutuambia kwanza, kwa nini ulianzisha biashara hiyo?
Tutasema kwamba maisha ya kila siku ni kwamba mtu anapashwa kuwa na maisha ya kuweza kujitegemea. Usitegemee kuajiriwa, lakini utegemee kujiajiri, na baadaye utaweza ukaajiri wengine. Na hiyo ilinipa msukumo mkubwa kwa kuweza kujiajiri na kampuni hii kwa ajili ya kuweza kuwasaidia wale ambao wanahangaika zaidi.
Unauza aina gani ya dawa?
Unasema ni dawa, lakini kwetu sisi tunaita kama vile ni pipi, ambayo ni virutubisho ambavyo vinakwenda kusaidia kwa wale ambao wanatatizwa na aina tofauti ya magonjwa.
Virutubisho hivyo sasa vinatibu magonjwa gani?
Virutubisho hivi vinatunza magonjwa kama vile ya kisukari, shinikizo la damu.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you.
We take no sides. Fire mata, I be akago. Fire mata, I go carry go. Fire mata, I go scatter city, scatter town. Oh, Eva, oh, Eva. If I ever be your man, I go choose you before everybody, oh. plus 2, 3, 4. What the hell are you waiting for? Fry my brain with your cooking pot, baby, no way to. Full import, sexy girl in a blue pin Porsche. Smash up girl, we don't need my funds. Oh my lord, oh. Oh, Eva, oh, Eva. If I ever become I go choose you before everybody. Oh, Eva, oh, Eva. I go choose you before everybody. For your mata, I be akka girl. For your mata, I go carry girl. For your mata, I go scatter city, scatter town. Akka. For your mata, I be akka girl. For your mata, I go carry girl. For your mata, I go scatter city, scatter town.
Dans mon trône, il me manque une vraie queen. Une vraie. Mais n'a que t'es là. Rassure-moi, bébé. Tu seras toujours la mienne. Tu sais, je suis tout à toi. T'inquiète pas, je suis sous emprise. Nana Kobalo, Nana Lela, Nana Yo. T'es ma meilleure carte d'Afrique.
Oh, Eva, oh, Eva. If I ever become I go choose you before everybody. Oh, Eva, oh, Eva. I go choose you before everybody. Akka. For your mata, I be akka girl. For your mata, I go carry girl. For your mata, I go scatter city, scatter town. Akka. For your mata, I be akka girl. For your mata, I go carry girl. For your mata, I go scatter city, scatter town. Axi lady from Africa. Oh, yo, original.
Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lehuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
It's Chris with the drama vibe.
Kutoka Manzabe, picha twazi twanga kisera, posti insta wanga kwa kera, baada ya chani kimoko. Cause I just wanna let them know I'm African beauty. African beauty. You're my African beauty. You're my African beauty. African beauty. Ooh, la, la, la. Ooh, la, la, la. Round the world, girl, I've been looking for you. I think I might just find you in Africa. Girl, you know the sound when I come around. Lost you in the crowd, girl, pick up your crown. Yeah, do it now. mazabe picha twaze twanga kisera posti insta twanga kwakera atajali kemoko cause I just wanna dance to know African beauty African beauty you're my African beauty you're my African beauty African beauty. Oh, love is what I see when I look into your eyes. Tiny Cubo, Navona. And you know it is up to be the one that takes you high. Timwili chumbani kila kona. Benzi tali papa ngojera. Uba kama tanga sekera. Kwa vino vya paikopo. Kutoka manzabe. Picha twazi twanga kisera posti insta wanga kwakera baada ya chali kimoko cause I just wanna let them know I'm African beauty oh you're mine yes you're mine African beauty
It is 19 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. African Beauty by Diamond Platinums featuring Omarion. And before that, we had Ifa by Fali Pupa featuring Oxlade. Oh, wait. It's Oxlade. It's not Oxlade. It's Oxlade, right? It twangified. It wasn't...
You're asking the wrong girl, but I would say Oxlade.
Yeah, I think at some point he corrected people during interviews or something.
And he says it's Oxlade.
It's Oxlade. I don't know. I'll try and do some research again and see and Googlish and see if it's Oxlade or Oxlade. Anyway, it's 19 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. The Upside is back in the office. We are no longer playing with other kids by the beach in Richards Bay. We're back in the office at the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg. And we're going to take a quick breather now. When we get back, it's time for Vent O'Clock.
Yes.
Get it off your chest and live a lighter life.
Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday, 23rd of July for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GPV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and the whole country affected by gender-based violence. For all your favorite SABC radio stations, call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC. The Upside with Tebogo Lehuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Well, it's time to get it off your chest and live a lighter life with Vent O'Clock, a judgment-free zone where you can share whatever's plaguing your mind, whether at work, personally, maybe financially. We're not going to judge. Let us know what is plaguing your mind right now. What do you want to get off your chest so that you can live a lighter life? Our WhatsApp line is +2763 406 9126, or alternatively comment below on our social media platforms where we are live at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. All right, Mmatsheko Mosito. What do you want to vent about this afternoon?
I am just perturbed, disturbed, injured by the fact that stationery is not getting any cheaper. Stationery is ridiculously expensive. Pencils, rubbers,
I can't relate.
rulers. Oh, you didn't go to school? Oh, shame.
I'm not a parent, is what I'm saying.
No, but if you went to school, you can relate.
I couldn't even relate back then because the parents bought everything. I didn't know what was happening.
Okay, well. That makes sense. But yes, if you're a parent, you will be able to relate.
Okay.
It is expensive to buy stationery. I mean, it is just some of the most basic things.
Yes.
Like I mentioned, highlighters, ruler. I'm not even talking about the fancy pens, these pens the magic pens and whatever else these children are using nowadays. But I mentioned this because there are several schools internationally. It is the European summer.
Yeah.
And also on the African continent, several African schools begin the academic year in September. So the Gambia, for example, has an academic year that begins in September. Ghana, there's an ANVERT term that begins in September to mid-December. South Africa, there's several schools that are working with the European calendar as well. There are parents that are out there.
Yeah.
Whether you're in Ghana, whether you're in the Gambia or South Africa, you are out there buying stationery, and it's very costly. Listen, you're going to part with a lot of money. So take a deep breath, breathe through it, because there's nothing you can do about it. But I just want to vent because it is ridiculous. Like what?
Give us numbers.
What needs to happen?
Give us numbers. You're talking about highlighters, right? One example. I see their own special.
Where are they on special?
No, I'm on an app. I'll show you now.
Okay, give me the price.
70 Rand for 3
Yeah.
No, for 6 highlighters. My bad. For 6 highlighters.
I paid around
70
that.
Rand.
I paid around that amount. 70. Yeah, it's 69, 70 bucks. Yeah.
70 Rand. The normal price was 80 Rand. It's currently on special. All right. Give us another example of kids' things that they use for school.
Just like, okay, let me just make it a quick example. Like an ordinary exercise book.
Yeah.
Not even 3 years ago, it used to be like a really ordinary. It used to be like $5.
Yeah,
$5 Rand.
I remember those. I used to buy them quite a bit.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sorry, 3 years is really not a long time ago, and now it's like almost $12 for an ordinary exercise book. Like, how did we get to 12 Rand in like 72 months?
Yes, everything is getting expensive, right?
It's
the petrol up, everything up, including the school kids' stationery. So if you're affected by it as well, let us know how you're going about navigating. Do you end up buying the lower quality stationery to save costs? Or do you buy those prescribed ones? Because I notice when you go to schools, they give you a list of prescribed things that the kids...
Yeah.
And some of those prescribed ones are like top tier, like pricey. Do you then say, hey, it's too expensive. They're going for these name brands. I'm going to buy no name brands for my kids. It does the same thing, and it's going to help me save a bit of money. Do you do that?
Look, sometimes you got to pinch the pennies. I mean, why do I need to buy a fancy name eraser?
It's an eraser.
Yeah, I can just get one for R2.50 at PEP Boutique.
Even better, get some of your rubber shoes. Cut a little piece there and give it to the child.
No, we're not going to do that.
It will erase.
You are clearly not a parent.
No, it will erase. It will erase that one. All right, valid point to vent about. Valid point to vent about. And I'm sure parents everywhere right now can relate to it. I want to vent about check-in times at lodges. Because tell me why I went to a lodge that had a check-in time of 3 o'clock and a check-out time at 10 o'clock. I am not for that. I frown against it, and there must be a petition signed that if you're a lodge, because hotels do you can check in from 2 o'clock or something like that, and you can check out at 11 o'clock the next morning. You are a lodge. That means you're out there in the wilderness, we are relaxing, we're taking it easy, we want to maximize on the time. I can't get there at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, the day is already gone. 2 o'clock. Start check in at 2 and then check out at 10. Fine, I can accept that. Ideally, I would still want 2 o'clock check in, check out at 11 o'clock, ideally. But if you can't make that work, 2 o'clock check in, check out at 10 o'clock. And if you're going to do a 3 o'clock check in, check out at 11 o'clock, not 10 o'clock. Because now
And you're paying for this.
we are
It's
paying.
not free.
It's not free. Now we don't get to fully enjoy the space that we find ourselves in because your check-in time or check-out time is just weird. Anyway, that's what I wanted to vent about. And then also, I know it's a side vent, but the Scorpion Kings, DJ Maporisa and
the event.
Cubs at a Small, they had an
Yeah.
event, a concert at Loftus Versfeld. Beautiful, beautiful. I saw the visuals. Fantastic. Well attended. But, South Africa, we have no peace. We don't like peace as a nation. Because tell me why people were going after Casper Nyovest on social media for the outfit that he had on.
What was he wearing?
I don't know if I have the outfit, but suffice to say, people had picked up the fact that they were saying like Casper has gained a bit of weight, right? And that someone commented, a malume at Bozi_T said Casper has gained so much weight. Nkariki me wa gospel. Casper has gained so much weight. It's as if he's a gospel lady. And then someone else commented, K_Kagiso says, this my lady's outfit is killing me. My ladies is a retailer in South Africa.
Miladies.
It's miladies, my ladies, miladies. And my thing is, like, we don't want peace as a nation. There's no need for us to go after Casper Nyovest. So what if he's gained a bit of weight?
I really should not be laughing because,
someone then
I
came
got
in.
problems my own.
Someone then came in
that department.
Someone then came in and said, so it's only body shaming when people comment on women's weight gain. So is it not body shaming when we're talking about Casper's weight gain and we start talking and relating and saying, hey, you look like this, look like that? We don't want peace in this country.
Again, to sound like a broken record, people in the public are human beings too.
100%.
Thames was talking about this at the start of August when she was launching her wonderful academy for women and just people putting her on blast for her weight and all of that. People in the public eye are human beings too. And also, I mean, why are we even having that conversation? Shouldn't you just, who raised you? Don't you have respect?
Thank you very much.
For other people?
Thank you very much.
It is very concerning.
Those were our vents. What are you venting about? Let us know.
Very
+276 406 9126. It's 30 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest in sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
A very good morning, should I say good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Mosibudi Makura with your latest sports news at the Sawa. So Springbok women head coach Swayze de Bruin believes the ability to handle pressure was quite key to his team securing a historic win against Italy in their second 2025 World Cup clash in York, England yesterday. So the Bok women's side claimed a convincing 29-24 win against a top Italian side to help them secure a second place in Pool D with 5 points. Now, speaking at a post-match presser, De Bruin says sticking to their principles of the game will help the team go far in this year's global competition.
No, they could have, but they play Six Nations. They play week in and week out tough opponents. They're used to the pressure, and it just shows you our girls are now, they can handle pressure, which is a principle of the game. It's a vital principle that we work a lot on, and they succeeded as far as the pressure goes.
At the same time, De Bruin says that it's a dream come true for the Bok women's side to score 5 tries against Italy, also believing this win has earned his players some respect amongst the top teams in the world.
It's a dream come true. I thank God for the opportunity to be part of such a wonderful management and team with the backing of SA Rugby. And just the whole thing is out of this world, JJ. For us to score 5 tries and first time make quarters, to beat a top 10 side, and suddenly we can talk with the big boys. We were seen as a minnow, what's the right word, and suddenly it's not the case anymore.
On To football news now. Al Ali Soccer Club have officially parted ways with the head coach, Jose Ribeiro, after just 3 months in charge, following a string of disappointing performances that left the Egyptian Giants languishing in 12th place in the Premier League standings. Now, the decision was confirmed on Sunday evening after a mammoth meeting involving club president Mohamed Al Khatib as well as the sports director Mohamed Yusuf. Now, the club also announced that the termination was reached by mutual consent, citing the need to realign with the club's ambitions at both domestic as well as continental levels. Ribeiro's final match at the helm was a 2-0 defeat to reigning CAF Champions League winners Pyramids FC, and that proved to be the final straw. And finally, Novak Djokovic continued his bid for a record 25th Grand Slam title in style as he stormed past qualifier Jan-Lennard Struff to reach the US Open quarterfinals. Now, despite twice receiving medical attention, the Serbian really looked troubled as he raced to a dominant 6-3, 6-3 and a 6-2 victory in just under 2 hours. So what the win was a further evidence of Djokovic's pedigree. Questions will still remain, though, over the 38-year-old's physical condition. Djokovic is playing his first tournament since losing in the Wimbledon semi-finals in July, having skipped the ATP Masters events, including the one in Toronto as well as in Cincinnati. He also looked fatigued in his opening 2 matches in New York, while he also struggled with a lower back injury in his third-round win over Britain's Cameron Norrie. Well, that is a wrap from the sports desk at the Sawa. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, send us an email. That's to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11714 4459. I'm back with more sports news in the second hour of The Upside. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. In this episode of Channel Africa Conversations, Peter talks to Dr. Thulisile Buddha, an academic, author, and an expert in indigenous knowledge systems. Join us for a compelling discussion on preserving African languages and traditions in the digital era. Dr. Thulisile unpacks the role of educators, explorers, and how technologies like AI can support cultural preservation, and challenges us to rethink how we honor African heritage. You can find the episode on YouTube, SABC Plus, and on our website, channelafrica.co.za. This episode is a must-listen for educators, creators, and change makers across the continent. Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
It's 35 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Let's find out how the markets are moving with our business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. French oil major Total Energies has been awarded an exploration permit for the Nzombo area off the coast of the Republic of Congo, close to its already operational Moho facilities. Total Energies says it will operate the asset with a 50% stake, while Qatar Energy will hold a 35% interest and Congo's national oil company, SNPC, the remainder. Total Energies Senior Vice President Kevin Lekhuleni for exploration says the permit is for 1,000 square kilometer area located 100 kilometers off the coast of Pointe-Noire and will add to a portfolio of high-impact prospects. The company says the work program includes the drilling of one exploration well, which is expected to begin before the end of 2025. Communications and Digital Technologies Minister in South Africa, Solly Malatsi, says the only way to ensure media sustainability in South Africa is for the government to partner with the private sector. Malatsi delivered a keynote address at the M20 Summit, which kicked off this morning at Melrose Arc, Johannesburg. The summit is a 2-day international conference which is running on the sidelines of the G20 program in South Africa. Malatsi says by working with the private sector, they can come up with solutions to keep private media companies financially stable.
So we must work together as governments and the private sector to support these sustainable models for independent media. This could include innovative funding mechanisms, fair competition policies, and ensuring that dominant tech platforms do not unfairly siphon away advertising revenues that journalism depends on.
In other news, Mediclinic Southern Africa says its corporate social investment drive has helped to reap the desired outcomes. In its report, 2025 Corporate Social Investment Report outlines 7 years of pro bono surgeries, free patient transport, and employee-led outreach. The group says the findings highlight the value of collaboration between the private and public sectors in making healthcare more accessible. Industry Affairs Executive at Mediclinic Southern Africa, Bob Govender.
The 2025 CSI report shows that while much work and collaboration is still needed, we are certainly on the right track, but these challenges cannot be solved alone, hence the focus on partnerships.
South Africa's Finance Ministry and the Central Bank says in a joint statement that technical work on whether to change the country's inflation target was drawing to a close. The inflation target range is currently 3 to 6%, but Central Governor Lesitsha Kganyago has long advocated for a lower band, arguing it would make Africa's most industrialized economy more competitive. The joint statement says the Minister of Finance and Governor will agree on any changes to the target band. Tesla sales rose in some European markets, extended to an 8th month in August amid mounting competition from both Chinese EV rivals and traditional automakers, as well as a backlash against CEO Elon Musk's courting of far-right parties. Car registration numbers from France, Denmark and Sweden, the first European countries to report monthly numbers for August, also showed that Tesla's revamped Model Y has had little impact on stemming declined sales. Data from France today show that registrations of new Tesla cars fell 47.3% in August versus the same month in 2024, while the overall car market grew nearly 2.2%. Now let's shift our focus to financial indicators at this hour. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 537. In Botswana, 13 pula 32. Kenya, the dollar is at 128 shilling 495. Zambia, 23 kwacha 65. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 real 42. In Russia, 79 rubles 97. In India, 88 rupees 14. China, 71.12. South Africa, 17 rand 62 cents. $1 is 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is at $3,470, platinum at $1,387 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil at $68.11 a barrel. That is all for now. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chandruko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Africa in business on Channel Africa.
The United States was very vocal at the beginning of South Africa's G20 presidency, and this is largely due to strained relations with South Africa at the time, that they were not really keen on participating. Where do they stand right now?
The U.S. is planning to take over the presidency of the G20 next year, and our understanding from them is that they intend to continue to do so, and therefore it is quite difficult then to be in a situation where you are not attending deputies' meetings or discussions during our presidency and then to take over the presidency next year. From a finance track perspective, there has been engagement. We've been working on a communique last week and this week here in Zimbabwe. What's important about that is that it's a consensus document. And so all the members in the room have to agree to the language that is used there. And our US colleagues have been part of those discussions and negotiations.
Bringing the African markets into your home. Channel Africa. The African perspective. The upside. On the upside. Your voice matters.
Loving this love that you're giving me, you're like a wave that keeps lifting me, taking me so high. this feeling is so fire. You got the touch, that's the touch. I need your kisses warm like the summer breeze. You pour the good vibes all over my life. You bring the bright, your light, sunlight to my soul. Sunlight to my soul. You're the light that keeps shining. All the clouds will be hiding. Sunlight to my soul. You're the air that I'm breathing. So I think I'll be keeping you close. Your sunlight to my soul. Every time I'm feeling up my game, you put a smile right back on my face. You hold me tighter, and everything's brighter. You always know when I'm needing you. You always there when I reach for you. Your love is so strong. When anything goes wrong, you make it right. Your light, sunlight to my soul. Sunlight to my soul. You're the light that keeps shining. All the clouds will be hiding. Sunlight to my soul. You're the air that I'm breathing. So I think I'll be keeping you close. Your sunlight to my soul. And when I need love, you make me feel love. I've never been loved like this. You're like the best thing that's happened to me. Your love is sunlight to my soul. Please have me a sunlight to my soul. Oh, you're the light that's keeping shining. You're the cloud I keep in hiding. Oh, sunlight to my soul. You are the air that I breathe in. So I think I'm gonna keep you close to my heart. Hey, you're the sunlight to my soul. Sunlight to my soul. Sunlight to my soul. Sunlight to my soul. That keeps shining. All the clouds will be hiding. Sunlight to my soul. Sunlight to my soul. Sunlight to my soul. So I think I'll be keeping you close. Your sunlight to my soul.
I really like that there are choral elements to, contemporary African music. Actually, choral needs to come back. I should make it my personal business to make sure that choral music becomes a thing once again. And I know there are places and spaces, particularly in South Africa, where choral music is quite a fashionable thing. And look at Madame Angelique Kidjo doing her thing with the Soweto Gospel Choir, coming through with Sunlight to My Soul. It is brand new and good for you. And of course, we always bring you some wonderful music as we weave in conversation here on The Upside. What do you think of that song? I think it's such a refreshing...
It
You
is.
know,
it's
refreshing.
I had to turn back and be like, who is that? Because that's a song that could feature on my playlist.
Totally.
On the treadmill. Not just on the treadmill. Actually.
Treadmill.
What was that judgmental look for?
Are you going to be running to Sunlight to My
No,
Soul?
walking.
Walking
On the
outside in
treadmill.
safari, yes.
Yeah, but also walking on the treadmill.
No, I don't endorse that.
You don't endorse that. Listen, it was a fantastic weekend, sport-wise.
Mm-hmm.
A shout out to Pete. Any Sundowns supporters in the house? Are you a Sundowns fan?
No.
Sundowns, Mamelodi Sundowns.
No, I don't. I don't do sport.
No Mamelodi Sundowns fans.
No
Okay.
sport. No.
Shout out to Peter Shalulile, because he became the highest scoring player in the Premier Soccer League history in South Africa. Shout out to him. That was a job well done. Another thing to highlight from the sports desk would be the fact that Al Ahly needs a new coach now. I don't know if you've been following Jose Riviero, who was with the Buccaneers, Orlando Pirates for some time. He went to Al Ahly to do, bigger things. His contract has come to an end. They've terminated it, not him, by mutual consent. And this after winning one game, and then, drawing and losing 7 other games. There in Egypt, they don't waste time. Eh? If you don't perform, it's not like here. In South Africa, we'll give you time. We'll give you maybe a season or 2. I might give him time. There, after just about 8 games, 7 games, whatever the case may be, you're not giving us the results. We're now number 12 on the table. Therefore, you must go.
Well, that sounds reasonable. I mean, if you're not performing,
it's reasonable
on the field, then you got to go.
Mmatsheko, if, for example, you're playing in a season where there are about 30 games, right? You mean to tell me, before you get to game number 10, if I have not produced the results and I've just won one game out of the 7 or 8, you would release me? There's a whole long season ahead, for example, right? There's a whole long season. Would you remove me based on just the first 7, 8 games that we only won 1 and maybe lost about 6 of them?
I honestly know absolutely zilch about sports, so I'm going to answer this one like a school teacher. You get one more chance, okay? Just one more chance. And if you can't do it, then you got to sit outside because there's somebody else that's sitting on the bench that would love the opportunity. One more chance.
All right, there was no one more chance with him. He said, enough
Clearly
is
not.
enough. Enough is enough. We hold a very high standard here. You are not bringing in the results, so bye-bye. I think some political spaces need to adopt that one. You're not bringing in the results? Okay, bye-bye. No more second chance for you.
That would be wonderful.
And then sticking to soccer, I see, and I don't know if this has changed, but I know Kaizer Chiefs at some point, I know Kaizer Chiefs fans will always, they'll come after me every single time I talk about them. But they are second on the table, if I'm not mistaken, after Sekhukhune United. And Mamelodi Sundowns, they are third. So Sekhukhune United first, Kaizer Chiefs second, Mamelodi Sundowns third. And all 3 of those teams have not lost a single game after 5 games. And I asked earlier during a What Caught Your Eye, which went very viral on TikTok, I said, where will they finish? And this was after game number 2. Where will they finish? Will they remain there in the top 3 position? It looks like they're sticking to their guns. And shout out to them. If you're a Kaizer Chiefs fan, if you're a Sekhukhune United fan, Mamelodi Sundowns fan, shout out to you. Hey, Orlando Pirates, top 5. They are number 5. Anyway, that's it for the sports wrap-up. I know only 2 people were listening. 10 minutes before 2 p.m.
No, I promise you, everybody
Only
knows.
because you don't watch sports. Like
everybody
so
knows
sad.
sports but me, which is really just a travesty. I promise you. I'm shocking.
It is a tragedy. It's 10 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time. Some music coming your way.
Africa in Song with Tebogo Lehuleni.
So when you think of African music, you think of Kwasa Kwasa, high life music from West Africa, Afrobeat from West Africa, of gospel music or faith music or spiritual music. But when we think of reggae music, we go to the Caribbean, and if it's Africa, we only think about Lucky Dube. Well, I'm here to introduce you to some reggae music from Africa. Salif Keita with Dakan Faye from Mali. And I must say, this one was a real shock for me because I never had imagined Salif Keita on a reggae beat. But listening to him, it just proved to me how versatile he is as an artist because you'd be expecting him to be on that vibe of West Africa, of ballads. But he really proved that he is very versatile, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Africa in Song with Tebogo Lehuleni. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
C'est pas ne plus ramper, c'est pas y masser, c'est pas y causer, so trious amis. Ça fait ouais des côtés qui m'ont gagné, qui m'ont vivre, les autres connaissent, saute l'orgueil bat fort. Ça fait ouais des qui m'ont fait, qui m'ont Zalu, Zalu ya ba fe ukulu kamaga Zalu, Zalu ya fe umete la kodo tuliku. Hey, relax you le common, espère ou tout man. Après moi pendant ou tout man, six say la même dans allant tout man. Espère ou tout man, six say dans allant tout man. Demain y'a l'autre sous, c'est pas ne plus ramper, c'est pas y masser, c'est pas y poser, so to use on me. Ça fait ouais des côtés qui m'ont gagné, qui m'ont mon vivre. Les autres connaissent, les autres logués back for. Zobé wade qui m'ont fait, qui mon arrive là. Les autres connaissent, les autres logués back for. Les autres logués, yeah, yeah. Les autres logués, yeah, yeah. Oh, logués, les autres logués back for. Oh, les autres logués, hey, hey, les autres logués, hey.
Channel Africa, your voice, your sound, and your home. Stay logged right here. Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802.
That is, you know. Tune into the king of songs and blues.
Initiating rage process.
I'm unavailable. They know they see me. 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 I'm sorry for who won't be my matter. Sorry, I'm only human. So make nobody para. Them say I carry woman. She na man way I for carry. Fuck all the rumors. I be dead when I talk, say I be pastor. Yeah, yeah. If you know, you know. It can walk. If it's not, oh, I got to call only go. I did your day, me a day for the day, girl, I'm unavailable. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me.
Taking my life, I don't have no time, son. Come see me shining. Got too many birds on my IG. I'm changing my life, oh. I'm a mama proud in it. She got me going. This fan took all my freedom. Cause I'm a big propeller. Straight for the one side. Good go jealous, but I think banana. I'm a big propeller. Straight for the one side. Good go jealous, but I think banana. Cause I'm a big propeller. Straight for the one side. Good go jealous, but I think banana. I'm a big propeller. Straight for tonight. But the fella, chickity.
I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me.
It is 3 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African Time. Unlike Davido, who's unavailable, we are available on our social media platforms. You can stream us live on our social media platforms. That's at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. This is The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo Lehuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. We were still venting on about some random things that we were seeing. We spoke about sports, highlighted some things that happened this weekend, celebrated a few people there. There's a song that's trending on social media. Just goes to show that in South Africa we sing about anything and everything. Anything and everything, because tell me why there's a song called Amagwinya Aphelile that's trending right now. And the artist who sang that song is currently being invited to media houses to talk about the song. He's viral. His name is Darwin Rev on TikTok. Go check him out. And it all started with him posting a reel, if you will. He's playing a guitar and he's got the caption on top saying support local artists, and then he has the song Amagwinya Aphelile.
The puff is finished.
100%. And honestly,
Wowza.
it's a relatable song lyrically, because how many times do you go and try and buy Amagwinya and you get the Aphelile?
Exactly. At the so tradition in any South African township, there's always like a corner spaza shop, which would be the corner cafe, if you will, where you go and you've got to be very early for Amagwinya. Okay, very early. And Amagwinya is puff. So it's basically fried dough, very delicious, and you can stuff it with liver or polony and acha.
Yes.
You know, you can stuff it with all sorts of things.
Yes.
So you got to be early.
Yes.
And when the corner cafe has the delicious hot ones, people order like 10 at a go, 20 at a go.
Yes, 100%.
So by the time you get there and you're number 50 in the queue, Amagwinya Pelele. So you're right, it's a very relatable song.
But
I cannot believe that is a hit.
People are using it for different types of emotions. They're like, they didn't realize that this song is such an emotional song, and they played the song, and that time they're thinking so deeply about something like, it's such an emotional song. It's not an emotional song. The tone on the end, the pacing of it, I guess.
Wow.
But literally proving that in South Africa we sing about anything and everything. Pretty soon we're going to be singing about mosquitoes and flies, because it's their season now. They've arrived.
Totally.
If they have arrived, that means if you're going to go to the bushveld and stay there, make sure you carry mosquito repellent, mosquito nets if you're going to get any sort of sleep. It's mosquito and fly season. It's 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Top stories this hour. Lesotho registers a new political party, and Ukraine blames Russia for paramilitary killing. Good afternoon. The Kingdom of Lesotho has seen a registration of yet another new political party. The Basotho Development Front leader Botata Mahlale says registering his party marks a monumental step in the participation of Lesotho politics. Lesotho has seen an explosion of smaller parties, a move that has toppled the decades ruling of traditional nationalist and Congress parties that have tormented political landscapes since the dawn of independence in 1966. Reporter Rapelang Rhadebe speaks on new leader Botata Mahlale.
He's a businessman in the mining fraternity, and looks like newly found wealth, of which he says he is willing to share with ordinary Basotho, with the people. He has been campaigning quite hectically and trying his level best to assist in those who are less fortunate. So I think on that wheel he has really appeased a lot. But now there is a new constituency of people who are party hopping. Anyone who sees like there is an opportunity.
Gambia's Foreign Affairs Ministry says at least 70 people have been killed when a boat carrying migrants capsized off the coast of West Africa. The boat was carrying about 150 passengers, 16 of whom have been rescued. The ministry says in a statement that 30 other people are feared to have died. The vessel, believed to have departed from Gambia, sank off the coast of Mauritania on Wednesday. The Atlantic migration route from the coast of West Africa to the Canary Island is one of the world's deadliest. And South Africa is hosting the two-day M20 summit underway in Johannesburg. The summit is an international conference that is running on the sidelines of the G20 program in South Africa. The summit will focus on the role of media and journalism to foster information integrity as a cornerstone for human rights, effective governance, international cooperation and public trust needed for social and economic development. African Auditors Forum President Churchill Otenia.
We live in a world today where many people, many forces think they are entitled to their own truths. Yet we in journalism know that there can only be one version of truths. So in that struggle, it's a chance for the media to come together and reflect on what opportunities exist for us to innovate and creatively respond to this new reality, to make sure that our audiences, in spite of every other versions of truths in quote that they're getting, they still find ways, accessible ways to get a truth that can help in the development of their own affairs.
And the National Prosecuting Authorities has welcomed the 2 life sentences handed to Pete Simiao, the Mozambican national who abducted, raped and killed a 6-year-old Amandla Simane in South Africa. He has been sentenced to 2 life terms by the Johannesburg High Court this morning. Simiao confessed and pleaded guilty to the crimes. Amandla's body was found in Simiao's shack in Orlando, Soweto in October last year. Gauteng NPA regional spokesperson is Pindi Majondani.
There is a difference between remorse and regret, and the accused was rather feeling sorry for himself rather than feeling guilt and sorry for the crimes that he has committed and how he has affected the family of the little girl. So we are happy with the sentence as the NPA.
And Ukrainian officials have accused Russia of involvement in the murder of former parliamentary speaker Andrei Perubie. Following the detention of a suspect, the gunman disguised as a courier fired 8 times in the attack in Lviv. The Russian Federation, which has been at war with Ukraine since early 2022, has not commented to the incident. Perubie was a key figure in a protest that led to the ousting of a pro-Russian president in 2014. The regional chief of the SBU intelligence services said the murder appeared to be a contact killing. A recap of your top story: Lesotho's Basotho Development Front, led by Butata Mahlala, has registered a new political party, marking a significant shift in Lesotho politics, challenging the decades-long rule of traditional nationalist and Congress parties. For any news stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I am Matapela Mahape.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
It is 6 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the second hour, the golden hour of The Upside on Channel Africa, the African Perspective with Tebogo Lehuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Happy new month, happy September. Hope that this month brings you all the joy, all the good health, all the congratulation emails, and we hope that this month is the start of the rest of the year finishing on the upside. Right?
I like that.
I didn't do that intentionally. It just came. It just happened. It just happened. Join us on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Let us know where you're streaming us from on our WhatsApp line +2763 406 9126. Alternatively, download the SABC Plus app so you can take us with you wherever you go, or go to www.channelafrica.co.za. In this hour of The Upside, we talk about the refurbishment of the Sun City Resort. Have you ever stayed at the Sun City Resort, Mmatsheko?
No.
You've seen it from a distance?
I've seen it from afar, but I haven't actually stayed there.
All right, I'd love to know. Has anyone stayed? Has anyone done? Have you ever stayed at the Sun City?
Have you stayed there?
No, never.
When are we going to stay there? This is just the season.
I've seen it on TV. I've seen it in movies, but I've never been there myself.
Yeah.
Right? They're currently undergoing a refurbishment project, which is set to retain some of their heritage and traditions, but blend in some luxury, modern African luxury and sophistication to the rooms. I wonder what that looks like, because I've gone online and I've looked at their pictures in previous times, right? And I used to think, let me say personally, I was underwhelmed. But this is personal. I'm not saying that everyone else. Personally, I was underwhelmed. I was like,
I think you're about to be overwhelmed because they're doing big things by the looks of things.
They are doing big things, and they are a name synonymous with luxury, sophistication. You think about Sun City, you just think luxe all the way. And I can't wait to see and actually hear what the plans are, because at the end, by November, if I'm not mistaken, they will be releasing a set of the refurbished units ahead of a golf challenge that will be happening at the time. And quite a bit of work that must have been done to ensure that they are ready in November. It's very exciting for us, and we'll be getting into conversation with the general manager at Sun City Resort. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so here's my thing.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
I have nothing against Sun City Resort accommodation. I just think that they appeal to a certain market, man. Internationals, and as a local, I look at it, I'm like, and maybe I've been spoiled with modern accommodation, that Sun City tends to go back. You know, if you could, you'd be walking on zebra skin. Which is not a bad thing, but there are certain aesthetics that I feel like are a bit of an overkill, like you're overselling it now. But the fact that they're trying to introduce African modernity and luxe to it, I think this is a conversation worth having. So if you've been to Sun City Resort, if you've stayed there, let us know, what was your experience like? Did you enjoy the stay? Was it as luxurious, as comfortable as people make it out to be? Because sometimes I feel like we oversell things, and there's no need. Sometimes we must just be honest, so we can give positive feedback, constructive feedback, so that they can change and refurbish like they're doing right now.
I hear exactly what you're saying, and perhaps that is a talking point, as we are going to be in conversation with Brett Hopper, who is general manager at Sun City Resorts. We're going to ask him, how is this going to accommodate the locals? Because 'tis the season to be in resorts, 'tis the season to be outdoors and to enjoy places and spaces perhaps that you haven't been to before, or that you haven't visited in a long time, and a refurbishment has to speak to me as a local first, I would imagine.
100%.
So I think that's a great talking point. We're gearing up for conversation. Listen, anything that as an African person that perhaps would entice you for a resort stay. Maybe you are a seasoned resort stayer.
There are people like that.
Listen, send us a message. We really would love to learn from you. If you happen to catch this conversation live, we are on Facebook and YouTube. You can drop us a message on X as well. We're just all over social media. If you'd like to message us, we'd love to talk to you.
I tell you what, the real reason why I have a problem, because I can't afford. It's 11 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine. Es-tu préoccupé par quelque chose? Es-tu passionné par les questions qui comptent? As-tu une voix qui mérite d'être entendue? Eh bien, nous avons la plateforme parfaite pour toi. Téléphone-nous ou fais-nous un WhatsApp au +27 66 408 87 42 et nous te rappellerons. Sois dans la conversation.
Salut Channel Africa, ici Beno le diamant rouge et Binal Sport depuis le Cameroun, le pays des lions. Voilà.
Sois dans la conversation. Il ne s'agit pas seulement de parler, mais c'est ta chance d'exprimer ton point de vue, de partager tes opinions et de t'engager avec une communauté qui valorise ton avis. Suivez-nous sur les réseaux sociaux, visitez notre site www.channelafrica.co.za et préparez-vous à partager vos points de vue sur Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Your afternoons just got even better, fresh and exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news from an African perspective. The Upside, live and real.
Man, they come, they already know. I'll be right beside you, like the wall of Jericho. They don't know, they don't know, they don't know what's going on. Monagiso, 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 my baby boo. I'll be a soldier for you. I'm getting better in Kung Fu. You should know I got it, and you don't need to guide me too. I'll be right beside you in anything that you do. If you ever need saving, I will be running to you, running, running, running to you. I'll be running to you, running, running, running to you. Anywhere that you go to, running, running, running to you. I'll be running to you, running, running, running to you. Anywhere that you go to.
When I'm looking for trouble, it's cause I know that I got you. Wanting my best, everybody, oh oh. And it's because of your kung fu. And anytime that I'm out of control, you hold me down. You never, never let go. Yeah. Munagiso, Munagiso, my baby boo. See all the battles you'll be fighting, and I'll be right there with you. I may be small, but I'm mighty, and I go running for you. And anybody waits, I be here. Don't be you, call it, I be alright. And if I ever need saving, I'll be running to you.
Running, running, running to you. I'll be running to you, running, running, running to you. Anywhere that you go to, running, running, running to you. I'll be running to you, running, running, running to you. Anywhere that you go to, you don't need to worry, anything you want.
Sundown to sundown, love you no go round down.
Hey, anytime you come to me, baby, I go answer.
Any other brother, baby, you make them run down.
And if you want me coming to you, I go come to you.
Oh, you wanna see me, baby, don't tease me.
Tell me what you want, baby, say I'm not in my
Are you, baby? Are you, baby?
It is 16 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. What a beautiful song that is. Running to You Chike featuring See Me. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and for tuning into The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo Lehuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Happy September. Happy spring. It's the 1st of September. What are your hopes for the rest of the year? What do you have lined up? Want to finish strong, of course, yes, but what do you have lined up? Have you written those things down? Are you visualizing them? Are you reciting them on a daily basis to ensure that they actually come to pass? As of the 1st of September until December, this is your opportunity to make your dreams come to life. And
It
we want
really
to be
is.
we want to be a part of that journey. But anyway, let's get into our conversation. A very important conversation about the refurbishment of the Sun City Resort, an iconic resort.
Look, you talk about goals for the last quarter of 2025. Perhaps yours involve beautiful places, rest, rejuvenation, and resorts. Well, this is the conversation for you. The Sun City Hotel, a landmark since the 70s. We're talking here 1979 to be exact. Okay, it's set in a stylish, refurbished, blending modern African-inspired design with the rich heritage. Okay, refreshed rooms is what we're talking about. Terraces, dining areas that are going to be debuted just in time for the Nedbank Golf Challenge that's going to be taking place, and the renovation honors the hotel's history while also offering updated comfort features that also will obviously affect accommodation, okay, of the family rooms, the luxury suites, and the wonderful views that you get to experience when you're out in Pilanesberg. Really just so beautiful. So we're talking about the restoration project, and on the line with us is Brett Hopper, I beg your pardon, who's General Manager at Sun City Resorts. Brett, welcome to Channel Africa. Thanks for the time.
Wow, what a privilege to be with you this afternoon, and thanks for having us on this beautiful spring day. But it seems that we've skipped spring and gone straight to summer.
I think we indeed have done that. And we also didn't have an autumn season, Brett. We went straight from summer into winter. You know, I don't know what's happened to the seasons. But what we do know is that Sun City Hotel is doing amazing things. As I understand it, Brett, it looks like the original name Sun City Hotel remains. Is that a fact or a myth?
Indeed. So what's quite interesting is at a point in time, from a brand perspective, there was a decision made to rename the Sun City Hotel Soho, the Soho Hotel. And upon my return, I think, it's so iconic. Everyone refers to it as Sun City Hotel anyway. So we returned it to its former name. But what a privilege it's been to be able to reimagine what was South Africa's first and original casino, the Sun City Hotel. As you pointed out earlier, 1979. My goodness, that seems like an age ago.
Yeah.
And, I always refer to her as the grand old lady. And we've been very blessed to be able to reimagine her now and bring it up to, new norm, new standards. The process and the journey has really been one that's been very, very special. When you're busy working with such an iconic property, whenever I'm dealing with all the politicians, I always say to them that, and I'd say it jokingly before anyone takes me seriously, but Sun City's a national tourism key point, and we need to make sure that the product itself stays up to date, it stays relevant, and because it holds such appeal for South Africa as a tourism destination globally, and it's of such vital importance to the fabric of tourism in South Africa, both domestically and internationally. So, to be able to do this was just a great privilege. We, in fact, opened the restaurant this morning for the first time, and wow, it's chalk and cheese if you saw it from what it was before to what it is now. So, the gist of the refurbishment has been the hotel rooms, as you indicated. So we are about 75% through the rooms. We have redesigned and re-engineered the front entrance in Port Cochere, the casino entrance. And then I think the two really, really exciting pieces were the restaurants, or are the restaurant, and the one that we haven't opened yet, which is the pool. And the pool's really exciting. We've done a lot of traveling. We've drawn inspiration from a lot of other entertainment hotels in Las Vegas and various other places. So we've reimagined the pool as a destination hub with private gazebos that one can hire out. The pool itself and build is spectacular. We've added a very fine pool kitchen. So it's been an incredible journey to be able to do this, and of course be part of changing something that's so iconic and making it relevant, or keeping it relevant, I think.
We are currently in conversation with Brett Hopper, the Sun City's general manager, about the refurbishment of the Sun City Hotel. And we'll continue the conversation with him right after the break to find out what went into it, the headaches that they were facing and dealing with, and what they're hoping to achieve in the next couple of months.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine, weekdays 6 till 9.
Former politician and diplomat. He's the leader of the Democratic Alliance Party at one stage, and also served as South Africa's ambassador to Argentina, Uruguay and Paraguay. Ambassador Tony Leon, if you were party leader now and in the GNU, what would you be pushing for?
I can speak with some direct experience because, as you might know, I was actually one of the negotiators of the GNU last year when it was formed. What I'd be pushing for is to hold the government or the president's feet to the fire on actually operationalizing the agreement that was implemented. Unfortunately, that agreement has been honored only in its breach. And I think, go back to basics and just say, okay, we're not going any further with this arrangement until we actually implement these steps.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine. Mmatsheko Mosito and Tebogo Lehuleni on the upside.
Well, it's 24 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. We continue our conversation with the general manager at Sun City, Brett Hopper, about the refurbishment of Sun City Hotel. Brett, 340 rooms that needed to be refurbished. Quite the undertaking. Because when you, and I mean, ideally you have done it in phases, and I want to know how you kept the doors open while you were refurbishing and still welcoming other guests in the process.
Yeah, thankfully we've had some experience at this over time. We did the Palace just post-COVID in a similar type of methodology. So it is a trick, and I think the challenge with Sun City Hotel that we didn't have with the Palace is some of the infrastructure is 40 years old.
Wow.
So we certainly encountered some things that you wouldn't anticipate. I think some of the old drawings and things like that versus what we found when we opened up were not necessarily the same. But we've managed the process, and thankfully, as you point out, in phases. And if you look at the Sun City Hotel as a building, it's got a very distinct center line. So we worked from top to bottom and then isolated everything on one side of the center line to minimize guest disruption. So, it's but it hasn't been without its challenges. And as I say, as you unearth some of this old infrastructure, things get interesting.
I would imagine, Brett, that, with a legacy since the 70s, that you would want to kind of still uphold and honor the hotel's rich history through its design. But I want to know how you are then kind of modernizing it. Are you thinking of the African traveler, what you want their experience to be like as you modernize and refurbish the rooms in particular?
Well, I think anytime we talk about Sun City, first of all, we wish to pay homage to Africa, whether it be in the design, decor, the layout of the room, and some of the cultural history, which we've tried to do in the context of the rooms. Whilst at the same time making sure that everything the traveller requires is, distinctly modernized, and that goes from Wi-Fi capability to your ability to plug multiple devices in, to be able to have a work area, for example. I mean, all of us do a lot of working on the fly, even though we're on leave or whatever the case may be. So I think that the type of nature of the requirements of a traveller have changed quite fundamentally. And of course, one needs to make sure that we're able to cater to those particular travelers. And I mean, we do a huge amount of conference business as well. So I think that part of it is also very, very important. What is a conference traveler looking for? What are their requirements, and so on and so forth? So each of the design aspects of the room itself have been very, very carefully thought out. And then, again, from a modernization point of view, in terms of the restaurant, contemplating fresh food, freshly prepared food, and also displaying the full chef's capability in terms of making sure that customers have many choices from a buffet perspective, and then in the manner in which we've designed the restaurant, that it can also cater to the convention market, so you can have private spaces, private meals, and completely modernize that entire experience.
I love that. Brett, for the African traveler, the international traveler, I know the Nedbank Golf Challenge is coming up soon. Tell us some dates. When are we expecting the full opening? Perhaps the pool? You can start with the pool, and then the rooms. When are we going to get to see the rooms fully opened up?
So we will have the rooms 80% complete by Nedbank Golf Challenge.
Okay.
And there's a small tranche of rooms that we will keep back for next year. As you indicated, it's been a phased approach. So we've already got the brand new rooms in flight to about the extent of 75%. And then, excitingly, probably the one that's giving me sleepless nights at the moment, it was the restaurant up until this morning. But as with all things, then we've got an incredible team of people who pull things through at minute 99. So we're scheduled to open the pool on the 19th of September, and we have a massive official launch on the 25th of September. So again, I actually drove through the site shortly before coming on the interview. Perhaps I shouldn't have done that. It makes me a little bit nervous, but it's substantial, and really the modernization of it is just incredible. So to pay homage to what Sun City Hotel used to be, I think that when Sun City Hotel opened in 1979, the pool itself was the largest pool in South Africa, bar none. On a resort. So, to kind of pay homage, I always say, the line between madness and genius is a very fine one. And if you go back historically, Sol was just the most incredible visionary with things like that. The fact that that pool today can become something that's incredibly relevant even today, and very simply be modernized, with his vision way back when. It's just incredible.
This has been wonderful. All the best. I think I just want to say all the best. I think clearly there's going to be a lot of impact for tourism and visitors, and we hope that they will come through in their numbers. Thank you very much for joining us, Brett.
Thank you very much. And I think, you raise a very important point there. We've spent 390 million on this refurbishment. And in itself, the number of jobs that we've been able to create in the construction phase, but secondarily, to create an appealing tourism product. And I mean, it's widely held, that 10 tourists represent one job.
Right.
And I think if there's anything we do with passion, and what is so important about keeping Sun City relevant is to keep that particular statistic in mind. With our job status in the country, it's just so important that we continue to invest in these products and, keep the ultimate vision of, being job positive at all times. Is so important to us, to the economy and the communities around us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Clearly, this project has had such an impact, and also the ripple effect is definitely worth mentioning. That is Brad Hopper, who is joining us in his capacity as the general manager at Sun City Resorts. It is 2:31.
Thank you.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
A very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Musibudi Makura with the latest sports news at the hour. So Bafana Bafana's next opponent for the World Cup qualifiers, Lesotho, have named 5 based players in South Africa for their Friday clash in Bloemfontein in South Africa's Free State province, plus their trip to West Africa to take on Benin next week. So a 24-man squad picked by coach Leslie Notsi is highlighted by former South African under-20 defender Thabo Makele, who switched his international international allegiance 2 years ago, as well as the 34-year-old veteran midfielder Tshwarelo Bareng, now playing in the Motsepe Foundation Championship for Upington City, right here in South Africa, but previously on the books of Morocco Swallows, Chipa United, as well as Black Leopards. Meanwhile, Orbit College goalkeeper Shekwane Morane is also expected to be the first choice goalkeeper for Lesotho for these upcoming qualifiers. The first one taking place in the Free State Province against South Africa, Bafana this coming Friday, and then that second match against Benin to take place on the 9th of September. We'll stay with football news. Morocco's Mohamed Rabi Hirmat has been crowned the Total Energies Man of the competition for the Total Energies African Nations Championship Moja 2024 tournament, this after inspiring his nation to a record third title with a 3-2 win over Madagascar on Saturday, and the final played in Nairobi, Kenya. So the Atlas Lions captain was at the heart of his side's campaign from the group stages to the decider, scoring twice, creating 2 goals, and also providing consistent leadership in midfield. Now, his performance underlined his reputation as one of Africa's finest home-based players, and also cemented Morocco's dominance in this year's competition. On to rugby news now. South Africa's Springbok women coach Swayze de Bruin believes the ability to handle pressure was key to his team securing a historic win against Italy in their second 2025 World Cup clash in York, England yesterday. So the Bok women's side claimed a convincing 29-24 win against a top Italian side to also help secure a place in the Pool D, top of Pool D, currently at the top of this pool on 10 points. Now, speaking at the post-match presser, De Bruin says sticking to their principles of the game will help the team go far in this global showpiece.
No, they could have, but they play Six Nations. They play week in and week out tough opponents. They're used to the pressure, and it just shows you how now they can handle pressure, which is a principle of the game. It's a vital principle that we work a lot on. And they succeeded as far as the pressure goes.
At the same time, De Bruin says it is a dream come true for the Bok women's side to score 5 tries against Italy, believing this win has earned his players some respect amongst the top teams in the world.
It's a dream come true. I thank God for the opportunity to be part of such a wonderful management and team with the backing of SA Rugby. And just the whole thing is out of this world, JJ. For us to score 5 tries, and first time I caught this. To beat a top 10 side, and suddenly we can talk with the big boys. We were seen as a minnow, what's the right word, and suddenly it's not the case anymore.
And finally, in tennis news, Novak Djokovic continued his bid for a record 25th Grand Slam title in style as he stormed past qualifier Jean-Lennard Struff to reach the US Open quarterfinals in the early hours of this morning. So despite twice receiving a medical attention, the Serbian really looked troubled as he raced to a dominant 6-3, 6-3, 6-2 victory in under 2 hours. Now, while the win was further evidence of Djokovic's pedigree, questions though will remain over the 38-year-old's physical condition. Djokovic is playing his first tournament this after losing in the Wimbledon semi-finals in July, having skipped both the ATP Masters events in Toronto as well as in Cincinnati. He looked fatigued in his opening 2 matches in New York, while he also struggled with a lower back injury in the third round win over Britain's Cameron Norrie. With that, it concludes your sports news this hour. The time has just gone 14:36 p.m. Central African time. I do return with a final sports update on the upside in the next hour. As always, for any sports stories you'd like to share with us, send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Alternatively, give us a call. The newsroom line is +27 11714 4459. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Parlez-vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et votre 3 minutes démo en MP3 à @channelafrica.co.za pour avoir une chance de rejoindre la famille Channel Africa. Si vous n'avez pas de réponse après 14 jours, cela signifie que vous n'avez pas été retenu. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Call us on +27 63 406 9126 and contribute to the conversation.
It's 37 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Standing by is a man you have seen on SABC News. Maybe you follow him on social media, and now he's about to give you the latest in business news. Tebogo Lehuleni.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. French oil major Total Energies has been awarded an exploration permit for the Nzombo area of the coast of the Republic of Congo, close to its already operational Moho facilities. Total Energies says it will operate the asset with a 50% stake, while Qatar Energy will hold a 35% interest and Congo's national oil company SNPC the remainder. Total Energy's Senior Vice President Kevin McLachlan says the permit is for the 1,000 square kilometer area located 100 kilometer off the coast of Pointe-Noire and will add to a portfolio of high-impact prospects. The company says the work program includes the drilling of one exploration well, which is expected to begin before the end of 2025. In a setback for the South African manufacturing sector, the Absa Purchasing Managers Index slid back into contraction by 1.4 points to 49.5 in August. The decline reversed some of the previous month's gains that saw the index climb above 50 points. A reading below the neutral 50 points mark indicates a contraction. Nosipo Khadebe has more.
The downturn in August was led by a reversal in new sales orders, which dropped 8.5 points to 47.4. Both domestic and export demand remain under pressure, with export activity in particular weighed down by global headwinds, including tariffs. The index improved on the employment front, reaching 48.9, but still in negative territory.
Communications and Digital Technologies Minister in South Africa, Solly Malatsi, says the only way to ensure media sustainability in the country is for the government to partner with the private sector. Malatsi delivered a keynote address at the M20 Summit, which kicked off this morning at Melrose Arc, Johannesburg. The summit is a two-day international conference which is running on the sidelines of the G20 program in South Africa. Malatsi says that by working with the private sector, they can come up with solutions to keep private media companies financially stable.
So we must work together as governments and the private sector to support these sustainable models for independent media. These could include innovative funding mechanisms, fair competition policies, and ensuring that dominant tech platforms do not unfairly siphon away advertising revenues that journalism depends on.
South Africa's Blue Label says that it plans a group restructuring to facilitate the unbundling and potential listing of mobile operator Cell C. Blue Label, whose main business is distributing prepaid airtime and electricity, says it has been considering various strategic options and initiatives to unlock and deliver value to its shareholders. In May, Blue Label said that it aimed to potentially list Cell C. Now, the Cell C listing, together with the benefits to be derived from Cell C's turnaround strategy and its improved sustainability, are expected to enhance the value of Cell C and in turn restore its shareholder value. In other news, Tesla's sales rout in some European markets extended to an 8th month in August amid mounting competition from both Chinese EV rivals and traditional automakers, as well as a backlash against CEO Elon Musk's courting of far-right parties. Car registration numbers from France, Denmark and Sweden, the first European countries to report monthly numbers for August, also showed that Tesla's revamped Model Y has had little impact on stemming declining sales. Data from France today show that registration of new Tesla cars fell 47.3% in August versus the same month in 2024, while the overall car market grew nearly 2.2%. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira, 537 in Botswana, 13 pula, 32. Kenya is the dollar is at 128 shilling, 495. In Zambia, 23 kwacha, 65. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 real, 42. In Russia, 79 rubles, 97. India, 88 rupees, 14. China, 7 yuan, 12. South Africa, 17 rand, 62 cents. $1 is 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Taking a look at commodities, gold is at $3,469, platinum at $1,396 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil, $68.10 a barrel. That is all for now. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chanduko Ligege.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. Africa Update on Channel Africa with Lulu Kabu.
Mozambique's opposition leader Venancio Mondlane has been charged with incitement to terrorism and disobedience. He faces a total of 5 charges. The charges relate to post-election violence that left hundreds of people dead. What punishment is he looking at?
The most severe charges are 2. One is incitement for terrorism, and also is being charged for mobilizing people for terrorism during the protests. These charges are really serious and severe. If he is condemned, is found guilty, he could serve 10 years plus years in jail, meaning that he would be banned from political participation, mainly for the 2028 and 2029 electoral cycle.
The director of CDD, the Center for Democracy and Development, Adriano Novunga.
Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, 12 to 1 p.m. Central African Time. Broadcasting in 5 different languages, connecting the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
Is it the that I don't give? Is it the man that I don't miss? Is the song why we get along? Or am I coming on a little strong? Is it the way this dress unzips? Is it the girls that I came with? Cause the more that they tell me don't, is the more that it turn me on. I can't leave, I can't leave. Leave you alone with your eyes on me, no. I can't leave, I can't leave. Dancing alone to look right on me, yeah. I can't leave, I can't leave. Leave you alone with your eyes on me, no. I can't leave, I can't leave. Dancing alone to look right on me. Is it wrong that I wanna get right? Wanna get right with you? Is it wrong that I wanna get right? Wanna get right? Is it the cup that leaves my lips that got me thinking things like this? Like what it's like when you take me home, and what it's like when you take it off. Is it the ideas that I like, or do I really wanna make you mine? Or do we leave it all on the floor? Either way, I need a little more. I can't leave, I can't leave. Leave you alone with your eyes on me, no. I can't leave, I can't leave. Dancing alone to look right on me, yeah. I can't leave, I can't leave. Leave you alone with your eyes on me, no. I can't leave, I can't leave. Dancing alone to look right on me. Is it wrong that I wanna get right? Wanna get right with you? Is it wrong that I wanna get right? Wanna get right with you? Is it wrong that I wanna get right? Wanna get right with you?
Is it wrong? Is it? That's the name of the song. Tyler Grammy Award winning Tyler. Beautiful music coming to you on the Upside this afternoon. Happy spring. It's the 1st of September, and we hope that this remaining part of the year is one that brings you full of joy, full of testimonies, full of light, and many congratulations. So happy new month, happy spring day, and happy Monday to you from us here on the Upside. It's time for What Caught Your Eye. This is the part of the day where we share some of the most trending stories and unpack them and just give them our own flavor. And some of these stories you may have heard of, they may be new to you, and you're more than welcome to interact with us and engage and share your view and share your perspective on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Okay. So we're going to... We'll officially begin What Caught Your Eye after we take a little breather, right? Mm-hmm. Because I want us to properly unpack a particular one that went viral this past weekend. And as a result of it going viral, this person's business has also taken a hit. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, stay tuned to find out. Mmatsheko, what caught your eye? It's a teaser, actually. It's not even... No, don't even tell us. You'll tell us after the break. It's a teaser.
Let's just say robots are everywhere. Artificial intelligence has made it into the surgery room.
Oh, okay. Well, kind of like the story we'll be unpacking later today.
Kind of like that story. In the same corridor as that story. But I think it's a great revolution, and it is wonderful to be able to witness what's happening in this lifetime. So we're going to talk about a surgical procedure that happened in South Africa, first of its kind. Very excited.
It's time for What Caught Your Eye. Let us know what caught your eye. Send us a voice note, +2763 406 9126. Let's take a quick breather. When we get back, it's time for What Caught Your Eye.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix.
Tumetoka kusikiliza wimbo na huu ni utunzi umeandika mistari na imani wewe ndio umeandika mstari. Tuanzie kwenye jina. Wimbo unaenda kwa jina gani?
Wimbo unaitwa Kanjori.
Kanjori. Kanjori maana yake nini?
Kama jinsi nilivyoimba. Nauza wazo leo, kesho nawaza uzuri wake, mwendo wake. Japata kusikia mziki leo. Ukikau matendo yake, chana chake.
Unatisha kweli. Kanjori. Ni historia gani au message gani ambayo imefichama nyuma ya wimbo huu?
Kanjori kwa ufupi ni kitu kizuri, yani kitu kizuri. Kitu kadogo yani, alafu ni kazuri ambapo kanavutia kwa kila mtu. Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Whatever you want to hear about today's talk, you can only get it on the Upside. Every weekday, 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time.
All right, it's 10 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African Time, which means it is time for What Caught Your Eye. Mmatsheko Mosito, would you like to start with your robotic story?
Listen, robots are everywhere, and it's so exciting. I'm actually really excited. I'm excited like this involves my own relatives. But anyway...
Wait. Are you using a key to talk?
I'm using a key to talk.
I love that.
Yes. Robots in the key of...
That's very robotic, but carry on.
Robots. Okay, so we are putting, or rather, it looks like Tygerberg Hospital has been put in the spotlight, and they have worked in partnership with Stellenbosch University in the Western Cape province of South Africa, and they made history. They have made it into the history books, performing South Africa's very first robotic-assisted living donor nephrectomy, is what it's called. So if you're wondering, what is a nephrectomy?
Even me.
That's a kidney donation surgery executed with cutting-edge robotic precision. That's the story. I think it's wonderful that we get to see this. So we just want to congratulate urologist Dr. Danlele Duplessis, who was guided by Da Vinci XI, if I'm saying it correctly, a surgical robot from a 3D console. So they were using 4 robotic arms to basically perform this very delicate procedure.
Wow.
And they did it with immense accuracy. And I think it's just, this is tremendous. I don't think we understand that this is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
First of its kind in South Africa. And it just gives you kind of a glimpse of where medicine is going and how technology within the space of modern medicine is going to revolutionize how people organ donate, or organ donation surgeries, what is it, nephrectomies, how C-sections are going to be performed, how, I don't know, hip replacements are going to happen in the future. You know, all the kind of typical major surgeries are really going to be transformed through robotics, as it were.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Let us know on our social media platform, actually, on TikTok at Channel Africa 1. We've watched enough movies to be skeptical.
Right.
That a whole robot, it's not a human being who's going to be sensitive, and if something goes wrong, he can say, there's something wrong. This is a whole robot. It can decide in a moment to turn my stomach into mincemeat.
Oh no! Don't get me started on the movies, because all you hear is
too many horror movies. Exactly, too many horror movies.
I'm sorry, Tebogo. We tried everything we can.
Yeah. But you know what? Congratulations to South Africa.
Wonderful, yes.
Leading the charge. It wasn't like the first heart surgery also done in South Africa.
With Dr. Chris,
yes. Yeah, with Dr. Chris, the very first ever. In South Africa, we are leaders, most.
No, we
in the medical space.
We are the spiritual true north. It's not a myth.
All right. Here's what caught my eye. At the US Open, this is a tennis competition.
Tell us.
So after defeating top-seeded player, Polish tennis star Kamil Madzek was signing autographs, and he attempted to hand a cap to a young fan who was asking for something from him, and he attempted to give it to him. But at the time that he was handing over the cap, he was busy signing. So on one side he's signing, the other hand is sort of like, okay, cool. He's not really paying attention, and he tries to give the cap to the young boy. But before the boy could grab it, an adult, a grown man, snatched that cap out of his hand and put it into his wife's bag, and he was grinning, smiling from ear to ear. I got it. This is a grown man. This man was found on social media, because people don't forget. Social media does not forget.
No.
It was found that this is a very wealthy Polish CEO. He's the CEO of a company called Drogbuk, right? And since that video went viral, people have been going after him and going after his company, putting in very negative reviews about, how could you have done that to a child? How could you have done that to a child? He responded, and he defended his actions, saying that no, first come, first serve. If you want to continue to insult me, if you use foul language, and if you call me what, I can actually sue you. My thing is, you snatched a cap, a moment that child will never forget. Mind you, let me also preface it by saying that the tennis player saw the video, reached out to the boy through social media, got in touch with the boy, and gave him another hamper, prize of sort, in a different time zone, or in a different time. But it remains to be said that this adult snatched a hat from a child, and now social media is going after his business. Are we right in doing that? Or are we going too far when we start bringing his business into this because of those actions at a tennis match?
It's something I think I've seen several times in different types of scenarios where people just, start digging into places they shouldn't be digging into. So, I mean, it doesn't excuse it. I think it's still wrong.
But what he said, first come, first serve. Was it wrong also? He also wanted the cap.
Manner of approach. The tone-deaf manner of approach is what we have a problem with.
Let us know what it's a bad time to be a CEO. Not too long ago, there was a CEO
right?
at a Coldplay.
Unless if you're the CEO of Tigerberg Hospital, then that's a different story.
Then you are golden. But let us know what you think about this man snatching a cap from a child before they got to the child's hand, and let us know if we are overreacting as the public, going after his business because of those actions, or are those actions justified? His business must go down because what a horrible human being he is. How dare you take that cap away from that child? It is now 3 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African time. Some music coming your way. That's what caught our eye.
Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa.
Yeah, well. Yeah, well. Yeah, well. Yeah, well. Yeah, well. Kumba, 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 kumba. 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 Sifuna le mali, sifuna le cash, sifuna le stash. Asifuna mamita, asifuna mapita, sifuna makumba. Sonke, sifuna makumba. Yeah, well. Ebatina, sifuna le mali, sifuna le cash, sifuna le stash. Asifuna mamita, asifuna mapita, sifuna makumba. Sonke, sifuna makumba. Yeah, well. Kumba, 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 kumba. Yeah, well. Kumba, kumba, kumba. Yeah, well. Kumba, 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 kumba. Yeah, well.
Okay, here I am enjoying this music, and I'm really just surprising myself that I am enjoying it this much. Magumba is the title of the song. Who's that artist? Cade Air.
Kade
Hey, man.
PK, Mz, and Keita.
I am enjoying the music. I shock myself. Okay, while I kind of get to know myself and discover other parts of me, let's check in with the news bulletin. It's 3 p.m.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Mmatsheko. Top stories this hour. New party Basotho Development Front enters Lesotho politics, and Japan eases a ban on bear attacks. Good afternoon. The Kingdom of Lesotho has seen a registration of yet another new political party. The Basotho Development Front leader Botata Mahlala says registering his party marks a monumental step in the participation of Lesotho politics. Lesotho has seen an explosion of smaller parties, a move that has toppled the decades ruling of traditional nationalist and Congress parties that have tormented political landscapes since the dawn of independence in 1966. Reporter Rapelang Khadebe speaks on new leader Botata Mahlala.
He's a businessman in the mining fraternity, and it looks like newly found wealth, of which he says he is willing to share with ordinary Basotho, with the people. He has been campaigning quite hectically and trying his level best to assist in those who are less fortunate. So I think on that wheel he has really appeased a lot. But now there is a new constituency of people who are party hopping. Anyone who sees like there is an opportunity.
And Gambia's Foreign Affairs Ministry says at least 70 people have been killed when a boat carrying migrants capsized off the coast of West Africa. The boat was carrying about 150 passengers, 16 of whom have been rescued. The ministry says in a statement that 30 other people are feared to have died. The vessels, believed to be or have departed from Gambia, sank off the coast of Mauritania on Wednesday, the Atlantic migration route from the east coast of Africa to the Canary Islands is one of the world's deadliest. And the National Prosecuting Authority has welcomed the 2 life sentences handed down to Pete Simiao, the Mozambican national who abducted, raped and killed the 6-year-old Amandla Samane in South Africa. He has been sentenced to 2 life terms by the Johannesburg High Court this morning. Simiao confessed and pleaded guilty to the crimes. Amandla's body was found in Simiao's shack in Soweto in October last year. Gauteng NPA regional spokesperson Pindim Jonondwani.
There is a difference between remorse and regret, and the accused was rather feeling sorry for himself rather than feeling guilt and sorry for the crimes that he has committed and how he has affected the family of the little girl. So we are happy with the sentence as the NPA.
And the Pan-South African Language Board, Pan-SALB, has called for sign language to be taught at schools to break communication barriers and ensure inclusivity. Pan-SALB has launched the Deaf Awareness Month campaign under the theme No Human Rights Without Sign Language Rights. The 5-day South African Sign Language Training Program for parents, families and teachers of deaf children commenced today. Pan-SALB Language Executive Head Julius Dantile.
We brought into the whole disability environment that people should be recognized and be understood from their own basis, from who they are, from their own humanity, not from their own disabilities. And that's why we emphasize an African philosophy where you see the person first before you can see anything. So we need to re-establish that philosophy where you don't describe a person on the basis of the structure or the physicality, or the ability that they have to do something.
And people in Japan are now able to shoot bears and other dangerous animals if they come under attack. Killing wildlife is mostly banned under existing laws, but these have now been revised because of an increasing number of bear attacks in populated areas. The BBC's Shamia Khalil has the details.
The changes to the wildlife protection law will allow governments to approve emergency shootings of brown and black bears in populated areas. Animal shootings are generally banned here in Japan, with only the police able to authorize them in cases of imminent danger. But incidents of bears entering towns, with some attacking residents, have significantly increased in rural areas, which have experienced a massive decline in population. Sightings of bears venturing into villages or small towns in search of food have become more frequent, especially in mountainous areas and abandoned farmland.
A recap of your top story: Lesotho's Basotho Development Front, led by Botata Mahlala, has registered as a new political party, marking a significant shift in Lesotho politics, challenging the decades-long rule of traditional nationalist and Congress parties. For any news stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I am Matapela Mahape.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
6 minutes into 3 p.m. in Central African time. I cannot believe we are already at the grand finale of the show on the spring day. Thank you very much for tuning in. The Upside with Tebogo Lehuleni Mmatsheko until 4 p.m., baby. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Happy spring.
Listen, there's going to be a lot to celebrate. South Africa is observing themes around heritage. Heritage Month is what we acknowledge, but I never like to look at regions in isolation. So we're celebrating all of Africa's heritage, especially considering the makeup of Channel Africa. Okay, we broadcast in 5 different languages, Chinyanja being one of them, Kiswahili being one of them, another one. And just based on that, already there's a spread through Zambia, through Malawi, through Tanzania, and several other places. So we're very excited to celebrate with you. Also, speaking of celebration, we are celebrating a very successful surgery, okay? As you heard in What Caught Your Eye, I'd mentioned that the first robotic surgery happened, a first of its kind, I forgot now what it's called, but it's an organ transplant surgery that took place at the Tygerberg Hospital in the Western Cape province of South Africa. And guess what? We're actually going to talk to the doctor that was in charge of this groundbreaking moment in African medicine. Okay, because we've made it into the history books. So we are going to be catching up with Dr. Danilo du Plessis, who's a urologist, who actually made sure that the robotics do what they need to do to make this kidney transplant a major success.
Exciting conversation. And we were asking earlier, would you allow a robot to operate on you when you're under the knife? And you're more than welcome to send through your WhatsApp, maybe a voice note to motivate why you are saying yes or no. +27 63 406 9126. Would you go under the knife knowing that a robot is taking care of you? Is doing the surgery?
I'm sitting on the fence on this one, and I'll tell you why. Because it seems to me like there will still be human participation.
Yeah, of course,
with the robot being there. So based on that, my answer will be yes. Yeah. But if it's like what they're doing in places like Australia, where, I don't know, where the doctor's in a different country and the robot's in another, and you in a different country, I don't know I'm not ready for that yet.
We will find out from Dr. Danilo and find out if the mother and daughter duo had any reservations about this, because the mom at 45 years old removed her kidney and donated it to her 24-year-old daughter. So we're going to find out from them if they had any reservations about having a robot operate on them. It's 10 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time.
Stella Longwe pamalonje
palitusokoma pano pamalonje kumvera nyimbo za mu Africa kusangalala kupeza moyo akuti kumva moyo kuti kuyenda bwino pano pamalonje ndiyetu apa tili ndikatswiri oyimba ameneyu ndikatswiri wa dziko la Malawi amene akukhala mdziko la South Africa ndipo amayimba amene akuti ndi Big Nick Malawi. Yatusati kuti kodi moyo wanu woyimba ukuyenda bwanji mu Johannesburg?
Moyo woyimba ukuyenda bwinobwino kwambiri, chiliyonse chikutheka ndithu bwinobwino.
Ayi aziwoneka chiliyonse chikutheka mofa magrasi anu apa mwaka akuti kumenya yonse aziwoneka zoti azikutheka ndithu mu Johannesburg.
Malonje pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo. Lowiruka ndi Stella Longwe.
Mix Vibration sur Channel Africa.
C'est notre invitée du jour, la belle Aïna Mwenze. Elle est là, certaines l'appellent Boss Lady.
Bonjour Monsieur Gelino.
Parlez-nous un tout petit peu de vous.
Je m'appelle Boss Lady Aïna. Je mets l'accent sur le nom de Boss Lady parce que je mérite cela après le travail fait. Et c'est une rémunération en titre de la personne que je suis devenue aujourd'hui. Épouse et une mère de 4 garçons. Et voilà ce que je peux dire pour l'instant.
Et vous vous êtes lancé dans le business, comment c'est venu?
En tant que mère et se retrouvant dans les pays étrangers, particulièrement en Afrique du Sud, je me disais que laisser les enfants sur la charge des travailleurs ou d'une bonne, ça serait pas très intéressant. Je me suis dit, bon, je dois essayer de m'organiser et trouver un emploi que je peux faire.
Mix Vibration, tous les dimanches de 18h à 19h, temps universel.
If it's news and current affairs, leading opinions, and thought leaders that get your groove, this is your home, The Upside.
Girl, you are the queen. Atasi juimba nunajishuku. My lady, you are the queen. Anything you want, just let me die. Do.
You're the only one I've been waiting for. You're the only one I've been running to. You'll be my shade in a rainy day, baby.
Baby, you amuse me. My angel, my Jabber, you amaze me. Baby, tell me, am I your type? And do you like my vibe?
Baby, you are just my type. Giving you all my time. Wanna be with you for life, for life. Oh,
Baby, be my Valentine. Baby, would you wine and dance for me? For me. Be my Valentine. Baby, just wine and dance for me. For me. So shut up and hold me, baby. Let the kissing do the magic. Weka mate, niteleze baby. Kisha niweke mpangoni. Ay, 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 oh. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 oh. Ay, 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 ay,
my baby, you're the only one that cool my temper. You're the only one that I want. Take me to a place I can think of nobody else but you.
you make my pain go away. Oh, baby boo, that's why I love you. Take me to a place I can think of no other one but you.
Nobody loved me like you. Baby, you just with me like juice. You dey give me fire when I am cool. Baby, not
Baby, be my Valentine. Baby, would you wine and dance for me? For me. Be my Valentine. Baby, just wine and dance for me. For me. So shut up and hold me, baby. Let the kissing do the magic. Weka mate, niteleze baby. Kisha niweke mpangoni. Ay, 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 oh. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 oh.
It is 15 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. The name of that song is You by Willie Paul featuring Gucci. And you are tuned into The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo Lehuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito with you all the way to 4 p.m. Central African Time. Join us on our social media platforms. That's at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, so you can see our lovely studio, see the presenters, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Alternatively, download the SABC Plus app on your Android or your iOS device so you can take us with you wherever you go. And as always, www.channelafrica.co.za is where you can stream us. Happy 1st of spring, happy 1st of September, and we hope that the rest of the year brings joy, peace, prosperity, and good news as we are about to celebrate someone who did something extraordinary in South Africa, a first of its kind. And you alluded to it during What Caught Your Eye, and I would love for you, Mmatsheko Mosito, to introduce our next guest.
Absolutely. And also, as we celebrate and acknowledge the last quarter, we also lift our proverbial glasses of champagne to good health. To good health. And speaking of good health, in a remarkable leap for South Africa's medicine, Tygerberg Hospital in Cape Town has made history, as we mentioned earlier, by performing the country's first ever robotic assisted kidney donor surgery. This is pioneering, okay, when we look at the way the procedure was done, as led by urologist Dr. Danilo du Plessis, using the state-of-the-art Da Vinci robotic system to remove a healthy kidney from a 45-year-old mother who donated it to her 24-year-old daughter. It's also just such a beautiful, heartwarming human story as well. So not only was the surgery completed in under 90 minutes, but the donor was also discharged just 1 day later, believe it or not. This is groundbreaking. Wow. A remarkable achievement. And we are here to just find out more about, discoveries, about where modern medicine is going, and also the success of this particular surgery. Guess who's joining us on the line? Okay, to talk about this medical milestone. Dr. Danilo du Plessis is joining us on the line. Good afternoon, Doc. Welcome to Channel Africa.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome, Mmatsheko. It's lovely to be chatting to you about this.
Thank you. This is very exciting. I don't know whether to ululate or like a bottle of champagne or what to do, because it's just really tremendous.
All of the above.
Right. All of the above. I like that. And Tebogo was just remarking, Doc, around just how sort of South Africa is just really renowned for being groundbreaking when it comes to medicine. We remember Dr. Chris all those decades ago when he performed the first heart transplant, and here we are speaking to you about a very successful kidney transplant surgery. So walk us through what made this particular surgery so groundbreaking for South Africa using robotics.
I think it's all about the donor and kidney donation in general. So it's about somebody being willing, purely out of the goodness of their heart, giving a kidney to somebody else. And for that person really deserves the best that's possible. So the least amount of pain, the shortest amount of time in hospital, and of course the safest surgery. And I think that's what makes this so special. And hopefully that will in the end lead to more transplants, more lives being saved, and less pain, less morbidity for the
It is 19 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. We're currently in conversation with Dr. Danilo du Plessis from Tygerberg Hospital and Stellenbosch University about a historic breakthrough in local medicine in South Africa, the country's very first robotic kidney donor surgery. And we'll continue to unpack it with him right after this.
Vue d'Afrique avec Joël Mouteba.
Cette peur d'un point de non-retour nucléaire suffit-elle selon vous à légitimer une telle offensive, Monsieur Talati?
Absolument pas du tout. Cela fait plus de 30 ans que l'Israël crie haut et fort sur les toits, où il veut se faire entendre que l'Iran serait à 1 an pour obtenir l'arme nucléaire. Parfois, l'Iran serait à 6 mois, parfois l'Iran serait à 2 semaines pour obtenir son arme nucléaire. Et curieusement, jusqu'à ce jour, il n'y a toujours aucune preuve que l'Iran a obtenu cette arme nucléaire depuis les déclarations d'Israël et de certaines puissances parfois.
Vue d'Afrique, du lundi au vendredi de 15h à 16h, temps universel.
Mmatsheko Mosito and Tebogo Lehuleni on the upside.
It is 20 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Now, in a historic breakthrough for local medicine, surgeons at Tygerberg Hospital in Cape Town have achieved something never done before in South Africa, the country's very first robotic kidney donor surgery using the state-of-the-art Da Vinci robotic platform. And this team was led by urologist Dr. Danilo du Plessis, who now joins us on the line. Dr. Danilo, let's talk about this platform, this robot, if you will. The Da Vinci, I don't know if it's a she or if it's 11. Is it XI, is it she, or is it 11?
It's a XI, so it's the upgrade from the X.
All right, perfect.
What the next one will be.
Tell us more about this robot, the Da Vinci XI robotic platform, and how it is changing the way that surgeons are operating at the moment.
It is absolutely amazing technology. That's the first thing. So it works with 4 arms that's inside the patient, and you as the surgeon sits inside a console where you look into a 3D eyepiece, and it feels like you are a miniaturized version of yourself that's literally inside the patient.
Oh, wow.
And you can control the arms, and the vision that you have is unbelievable. So to give you an illustration, this morning I was doing another prostate surgery, so nothing related to transplants, but there was a urologist in theater that came to watch that has been a urologist for more than 10 years, and she was amazed. She said, like, she sees anatomy and things now that she's never seen before. She's been a urologist for over 10 years doing the surgeries. So it just shows you how incredible it is, how precise it is, and it's got amazing maneuverability. So you can really get around angles and corners that you can never do with your hand or with a standard laparoscopic instrument.
Well, let's talk about the biggest differences then, Doug. The differences between the traditional donor nephrectomies and how the robotic assisted procedure, what are the differences between using a robot and doing it traditionally?
So the traditional one can either be open, which means it's a massive cut on the side of a patient's body, very painful, stay in hospital for a long time, not that precise, but it works. Or one can do it laparoscopically, which is much better than open, but then you are limited by your instruments. It's little straight sticks, straight cameras that you have to work, difficult to get around angles. If something bleeds, difficult to control, never that precise in terms of how much length you can get on the blood vessels. So that's basically the difference. Is now one can really work precisely. One can get maximum length on the blood vessels, which is very important for a donor. And we can do it. It's quite technical. Retroperitoneal means we go behind all the bowel. We never see a liver or a bowel or nothing. We just work in very confined space around the kidney, and that makes the surgery regional instead of being inside the whole abdomen. So really minimizing the amount of surgery and amount of pain and tissue trauma that a donor will have to go through.
Doc, paint a picture for us. Are you in the room of the surgery when this is happening, or are you in a remote area operating this technology?
So in this case, I was in the room, in the corner, inside this console. One could also be in a different continent. If your internet connection is stable enough, you can be doing donor nephrectomies, wherever. So, but practically speaking, usually it's in the same hospital, in the same theater. It's all connected to cables, and you are there, to communicate with the team and so on.
Yeah, I think I prefer that method. Yes, that sounds doable. Okay, Doc, I think a big concern for me would be accessibility. We know that, sometimes this type of technology may take time to kind of reach the public hospital system. Talk to us about accessibility and what it would take for this kind of technology to get there. What needs to happen for more patients to benefit from it is what I'm trying to establish.
So the beauty of this is that it is in the public hospital where we were able to do this. So, I mean, hats off to hospital management and, everybody involved in enabling this. So this is really beautiful because the academic center can be what it's supposed to be, which is the leaders in the field, advancing, protecting the public, teaching new professionals being trained. So at the moment, this is only in public, which is lovely, and it's how it should be. Public sector and academic sector should be the place where the newest technologies is. So that's amazing. From now that it's been done, I think it's now a question of teaching and training more surgeons, getting more robotic systems in different provinces, and rolling it out, hopefully across the country. Across the continent. There is also robotic platforms in other countries in Africa. So it's just about training and getting the logistics sorted, but it is something that can be done.
Doc, talk to us about the buy-in from other surgeons, because you'd imagine you've been doing something a certain way for the longest time. Now you're being introduced this technology, and for a lot of people, they're not comfortable with the change. Talk to us about the buy-in so far from the surgeons. You mentioned earlier that someone was in the class during a demonstration and they were so impressed, and now they want to use it. But from the other surgeons' point of view, are they buying into this technology as quickly and as optimistically as you have?
So we in our small team, I'm not going to give you any personal details, but we had some members which was a little bit more skeptical, than others.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I asked them, next time, what are we going to do? Are we going to go back to the old way, or are we going to do this? And all of them were, no, they also want to be trained. This is definitely what we're going to do for now. So I think once you see it, and especially as a surgeon, having done so much open surgery and open surgery, and you see this for the first time, I've never met anybody that says, I'd rather go back.
Wow. This is all kinds of impressive. And I think perhaps as a final note, Doc, maybe you can talk to us about where you see robotics going. And also, Tebogo's talking from the surgeon perspective, perhaps for the patient as well. Where do we see robotic surgery going? How do you see it being applied perhaps to other kinds of transplants or procedures, perhaps like C-sections, for example, or, other major common surgeries, if I could use that term?
Exactly, yeah. So I think maybe two things I want to say. The first is that as more and more different companies make robotic systems, there's quite a few coming out of China, there's some coming out of India, out of Germany. It's going to get cheaper, so it's going to get more accessible. So that's the first point. It's going to get cheaper and more accessible. We're already seeing competition in the market, so that's great. The second is that it will have a place in all complex surgery. I believe urology, general surgery, cardiothoracic surgery, you name it, there will be a place for it. I don't think cesarean sections anytime soon. I think any surgery where there's a complex component to it, lots of suturing, or you work in a difficult to get to space, that's going to happen. But I do believe in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to hear that more and more surgery is being done robotically.
And Doc, very as a parting shot from me, how are the mother and daughter team doing after the surgery? Walk us through their recovery, their state of being at the moment.
Yeah, no, the mother is at home. She's recovered quite well. She's doing very well. Daughter still in hospital, luckily also doing well. With transplants, there's always 1,000 things that have to go right for it to work. And at the moment, everything's still going well. So we are, all excited, and we are just making sure that she keeps doing well. So she's still in hospital. So we'll keep her for another few days just to be sure.
Oh, that is wonderful news. Dr. Danilo du Plessis, thank you very much, not only to you, but to your entire team. You've made the entire nation proud, even though we're not in medicine, but we just feel like this is our achievement too. So congratulations, and thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
No, thank you. It's really a true a team effort, as you said. So no, I'm grateful to be part of it.
Wonderful. Dr. Danilo du Plessis, urologist at the Tygerberg Hospital and Stellenbosch. And we were talking about the first robotic surgery that really was about, doing an organ transplant, a kidney transplant, which was such a beautiful story. And we wanted to celebrate it here on The Upside. Beautiful day, spring day, to celebrate medical intervention at this level, I think is wonderful. Okay, it's 3:30. Let's check in with the latest in sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
And a very good afternoon from the sports desk. I am Musibudi Makura with your latest sports news at the hour. So Tim Sogazi, the president of South African football club TS Galaxy, has urged other PSL clubs to put an effort in establishing women's teams. Now, Sogazi's TS Galaxy Queens as well as Mamelodi Sundowns Ladies, the two teams at the top of the Hollywood Bets Super League table, are the only two affiliated to clubs in the Men's Professional League. So the Confederation of African Football, CAF, introduced a new regulation competition about 3 seasons ago, which requires all clubs participating in their inter-club competitions to have an active women's team in a league sanctioned by their respective football associations in accordance with Article 27 of the CAF Men's Club Licensing Regulations. Sugazi says many of the clubs have found a way around the rules and don't necessarily adhere to those rules.
Obviously, I think clubs have found a way to circumvent the rules, those CAF rules, for sure, no doubt about it. Look at who's playing in CAF, year in, year out. Do they have women's teams clubs? No. The answer is no. But did they qualify? How do they pass the CAF licensing? You know, you end up having a TUT Matsantanza. What's that? You need a Super Sport United. If they play in CAF, they must have a Super Sport United. I'm making an example, you know, women's team, not a TUT Matsantanza. This is not a box ticking exercise. So that needs to change. So CAF have to relook into these rules that are being circumvented in one way or another.
In continental football news now, Morocco's Mohamed Rabi Hirmat has been crowned the Total Energies Man of the Competition for the African Nations Championship Pamoja 2024 tournament after inspiring his nation to a record 3rd title with a 3-2 win over Madagascar in Saturday's final in Nairobi. The Atlas Lions captain was at the heart of the side's campaign from the group stage to the decider, scoring twice, creating 2 goals and providing consistent leadership in midfield. So his performances underlined his reputation as one of Africa's finest home-based players and also cemented Morocco's dominance in this year's competition. Well, Bafana Bafana's next World Cup opponents, Lesotho, have named 5 players based in South Africa for their Friday clash in Bloemfontein in the Free State province, plus they trip to West Africa to take on Benin next week. So a 24-man squad picked by coach Lezi Nonzi is headed by former South African under-23 defender Thabo Makele, who switched his international allegiance 2 years ago, as well as 34-year-old veteran midfielder Tshwarelo Bareng, now playing in the Motsepe Foundation Championship for Appington City, but had previously been on the books of Morocco Swallows, Sheba United, as well as Black Leopards. Further field now, Inter Miami forward Luis Suarez appeared to spit at a member of the Seattle Sounders coaching staff following his side's 3-0 League Cup final defeat. Now, the incident happened just shortly after the full-time whistle following a melee involving, should I say, both sets of players sparked by the Uruguayan. Now, Suarez grabbed Sounders midfielder Obed Vargas around the neck before teammate Sergio Busquets struck the Mexico international on the chin. Moments later, Suarez was involved in an altercation with a Sounders staff member and was held back by team members, including Oscar Ustrai, before appearing to spit in the direction of the coach. And finally, in rugby news, Springbok women head coach Swayze de Bruin believes the ability to handle pressure was quite key to the team securing a historic win against Italy in their second 2025 World Cup clash in York, England yesterday. Now, the Bok women's side claim a convincing 29-24 win against a top Italian to help secure top place in Pool D with 10 points. Speaking at a post-match interview just after the match, de Bruin says sticking to the principles of the game will help the team go far in this global showpiece.
No, they could have, but they play Six Nations. They play week in and week out tough opponents. They're used to the pressure, and it just shows you our girls are now, they can handle pressure, which is a principle of the game. It's a vital principle that we work a lot on, and they succeeded as far as the pressure goes.
Right, so that concludes your sports news this afternoon on The Upside. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11714 4459. I'm back with the final sports update for the afternoon in the next hour for Channel Africa Sport. I am Mosibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Nkhanza zokhudza amuna ndi azimayi kapena kuti gender-based violence GBV zikuwononga mioyo komanso kuphwasula midzi. Zikuchitika m'manyumba, m'masukulu, malo ogwirira ntchito ndipo kwambiri mwakachetechete, koma sizikuyenera kupitirira. Mukazimva yankhulani. ngati mwakhuzidwa funani chithandizo chifukwa kusachita chilichonse sikuthandiza. Mverani kuma wairesi onse 14 a SABC kuchokera lachitatu pa 23 mwezi uno wa Julayi kuti mumve zokambirana, malangizo, masewero, zionetsero za maphunziro ndi mafunso okhuza nkhanza za amuna ndi azimayi ndi akatswiri, anthu opulumuka ku nkhanzazi, kukhazikitsa lamulo komanso dziko lonse lokhuzidwa ndi nkhanzazi. Zonsezi pa wairesi yomwe mumayikonda ya SABC. Imbirani pa nambala 0800 428 428 kuti munene za nkhanzazi kapena kupeza chithandizo. Nkhanza zokhuza amuna ndi azimayi zimatha ndi inu. Uthenga ukufikani kuchokera ku SABC.
This is The Upside for the best African vibes, groundbreaking content.
It's 37 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get the final business update now with Tebogo Lehuleni.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo Lehuleni Mmatsheko. Good afternoon. There are growing fears about what would happen if South Africa lost access to the global SWIFT payment system. SWIFT is the backbone of international trade, allowing South African banks to move money across borders. Losing access would choke off capital flows, trigger the rand collapse, and drive up the cost of living. Chief Investment Officer at Bunguela Global Fund, Zwelakhe Mnguni, says while the risk is low, the consequences would be catastrophic.
The rand would depreciate severely. It would trigger sharp depreciation and there'll be a lot of volatility. And then that would blow inflation out as well. And that would force interest rate hikes. The South African rand would probably go easily above 20, if not more. I think the financial services industry would fall apart, to be quite honest. So the banking industry does a lot of cross-border transactions. So that would actually create big problems for the banks.
In a setback for South African manufacturing sector, the Absa Purchasing Managers Index slid back into contraction by 1.4 points to 49.5 in August. The decline reversed some of the previous month's gains that saw the index climb above 50 points. A reading below the neutral 50 points mark indicates a contraction. Nosipho Hadebe has more.
The downturn in August was led by a reversal in new sales orders, which dropped 8.5 points to 47.4. Both domestic and export demand remain under pressure, with export activity in particular weighed down by global headwinds, including tariffs. The index improved on the employment front, reaching 48.9, but still in negative territory.
Africa Mining Industries held a press briefing today in Cape Town outlining plans for the mining Indaba scheduled for next year, February, in Cape Town, South Africa. The Indaba will highlight transformative power of collaboration in addressing the sector's challenges and opportunities. Product Director at Investing in Africa Mining Indaba, Laura Nicholson.
So naturally, the entire event for next year is centered around our theme. And what we really want to incentivize our industry to do at Mining Indaba is explore how they can stop working in silos and work together and be more collaborative, so to deliver sort of a more successful outcome in terms of exploration and development and new investments in Africa.
South Africa's Blue Label says that it plans a group restructuring to facilitate the unbundling and potential listing of mobile operator Cell C. Blue Label, whose main business is distributing prepaid airtime and electricity, says it has been considering various strategic options and initiatives to unlock and deliver value to its shareholders. In May, Blue Label said that it aimed to potentially list Cell C. Now the Cell C listing, together with the benefits to be derived from Cell's turnaround strategy and its improved sustainability, are expected to enhance the value of Cell C and in turn restore its shareholder value. French oil major Total Energies has been awarded an exploration permit for the Nzombo area off the coast of the Republic of Congo, close to its already operational Moho facilities. Total Energies said it would operate the asset with a 50% stake, while Qatar Energy will hold 35% interest and Congo's national oil company SNPC the remainder. Total Energies Senior Vice President for Exploration, Kevin McLachlan, says the permit is for a 1,000 square kilometer area located 100 kilometers off the coast of Pointe-Noire and will add to a portfolio of high-impact prospects. The company says the work program includes the drilling of one exploration well, which is expected to begin before the end of 2025. Let's now shift our focus to financial indicators at this hour. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 Naira 537. In Botswana, 13 Pula 32. In Kenya, the dollar is at 128 shilling 495. Zambia, 23 kwacha 65. BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is at 5 real 42. Russia, 79 rubles 97. India, 88 rupee 14. China, 71.12. South Africa, $1 is at 17 rand 62 cents. $1 is 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Taking a look at commodities, gold is at $3,469. Platinum at $1,404 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil, $68.28 a barrel. That is all for now. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or you can call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Chandruko Ligege.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lehuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Africa in Business on Channel Africa.
The president of the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, Badea, Dr. Sidi Ould Tah, he is vying for the presidency of the African Development Bank, the AFDB. He positions himself as a fervent defender of economic integration and structural transformation on the African continent.
Well, I do believe that I have a 360 view of the development challenges in the continent with my experience from both the supply side and the demand side. But more importantly, my vision is to bring on board all the stakeholders and to have a holistic approach for the development of the continent and to develop partnership across the continent and outside the continent, bringing all the stakeholders together to work for one goal is to make Africa great for life and livelihood of the African population.
Bringing the African markets into your home. Channel Africa. The African perspective. Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802.
Shake your back, shake your back. Of your leg, no got it, lose got it legally. No, never know but you know, something so it be. I be. Better dance, better dance. C'est mes messi, à mes paris, Rocky Malavi. Champs-Élysées, juste des Lamborghini. Ton côté body, la nefatiti. She very mighty with the bagassi. On a this baby, on a batisi. I should want to get me, feel like me. Dance, qu'elle est belle, dance, qu'elle est belle, dance, qu'elle est belle, dance, qu'elle est belle, dance.
On Open Views Audio Bouquet, Channel 628.
Unatege si matege yop, unatege minga matege nyum, unatege majang matege ndom, manetambia ninyane njubyayen, ngani bana matege mot, ngani lakiri watege ndong, esakina bia dinkido, manetambia ninyane njubyayen. Tam tama mote tam zabike, tam tama tonge tam zabike, tam tama mote tam zabike. Mane tambia ninyane njubyayen, onatege si matege yop, onatege minga matege nyum, onatege majang matege ndom. Mane tambia ninyane njubyayen, ngani bana matege mot, ngani lakiri watege ndong. Esakina bia dinkido, mane tambia ninyane njubyayen. Tam tama mote tam zabike, tam tama tonge tam zabike, tam tama mote tam zabike. Mane tambia ninyane njubyayen. Tam hiyo amone majone, ngani mori soli matelan change. Ayo amajang majande, imoro zinyanga sobala ating. Onatege minga matege nyum, onatege majang matege ndom, mane tambia ninyane njubyayen, ngani bana matege mon, ngani lakiri watege ndong, esakina bia dinkido, mane tambia ninyane njubyayen, tam tama mote tam zabike, tam tama tonge tam zabike, tam tama mote tam zabike. Mane tambia ninyane njubyayen, onatege si matege yo, onatege minga matege yo, onatege majang matege ndom. Mane tambia ninyane njubyayen, ngani bana matege mon, ngani lakiri watege ndong, esakina bia dinkido. Mane tambia ninyane njubyayen, tam tama mote tam zabike. Tam tama tonge tam zabike, tam tama mote tam zabike. Mane tambia ninyane njubyayen. Tam hiyo amone majone, ngani mori soli matelan change. Ayo amone majande, imoro zinyanga sobala atingwae. Tay mana mot, abol mane ya, matay mana chonga lusu matuzae. Tay mana mot, akar mana za.
Weaving her Bikutsi roots, a traditional rhythm from Cameroon, Selignolo, Cameroonian singer, songwriter, and former member of the legendary vocal ensemble ZEP, Mama, the name of that song, Tum Tum. And before that, we had Kelebu by Rema. It's 10 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African Time. Don't go anywhere. I've got something on my mind. I know we vented earlier, but I want to vent again. Don't go anywhere.
Channel Africa, your voice, your sound, and your home. Stay logged right here. Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine, weekdays 6 till 9.
Former politician and diplomat. He's the leader of the Democratic Alliance Party at one stage, and also served as South Africa's ambassador to Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay. Ambassador Tony Leon, if you were party leader now and in the GNU, what would you be pushing for?
I can speak with some direct experience because, as you might know, I was actually one of the negotiators of the GNU last year when it was formed. What I'd be pushing for is to hold the government or the president's feet to the fire on actually operationalizing the agreement that was implemented. Unfortunately, that agreement has been honored only in its breach. And I think, go back to basics and just say, okay, we're not going any further with this arrangement until we actually implement these steps.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine. Whatever you want to hear about today's talk, you can get it on the upside. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
Asiqala ka-ake manje asambe kanje. Awuzweke. Engathi abangizwanga kahle. Thapha yenze kahle lapho. Yazona. Uyazenzela. Elomntana uyazenzela. Bathi uyazenzela. Bathi yena uyazenzela. Barichomi wantuaramo asimoteng, wantuaramo asimoteng, wantuaramo asimot, wantuaramo kimoteng. Barichomi kimoteng. Asambe, engesimina wantuaramo asimoteng, wantuaramo asimoteng, wantuaramo asimot, wantuaramo kimoteng. 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 Asambe kanjena bathi Kimote, 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 Asambe kanjena bathi
Indabisingitala mongibamba ungithinta ungispina bine moyeni tala motamba uyigcina uyidikisa le oneni mama kanti ubamba kanja kanti ubamba kanja kanti wena ubamba kanja ay indikala mongibamba ungithinta ungispina bine moyeni tala motamba uyigcina uyidikisa le oneni mama kanti ubamba kanja Babaganja, Katigano Babaganja. I'm
Totse o di etsang. Ha una tšhelete empa ntho tse o di etsang ke tsa batho ba nang le tšhelete. Ha una tšhelete, ha o gole sharp mfanaka, ha o gole sharp na. Sinogonoko ha siyo mono mo sebetsang.
It's 5 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African Time. The Waffler there coming through with Zenzele featuring Cowboy, Royal Music, Uncool MC, and XDP. All right. I said earlier that I wanted to vent about something. I know we vented earlier.
Oh, yes. Tell us.
I know we vented earlier.
Mr. Ventilation 2.0.
Mm-hmm. And very quickly, right? So Lionsgate, they are the film production, what.
Yeah.
They were holding a screening of a movie called The Long Walk, where you needed to walk on a treadmill faster than about 3 miles per hour to see the whole movie. If you stopped, you will be escorted out of the theater and you couldn't watch the rest of the film. I'm not going to a movie theater to walk for 2 hours just to see how it finishes. If it was me, I would have been out there as they're doing that first part. That do. I would have been out.
No, it's fine. Just give me the champagne and hors d'oeuvres and I will be on my way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Good
very
afternoon,
much.
Tammy.
On that note, a very good afternoon to you. It reminds me of something actually. When we were younger, my sister was very athletic, right?
Okay.
And so we'd go jogging in the neighborhood.
Right.
And so we'd run and we'd get to the first corner and then I'd sit on a rock.
Okay.
and wait for her to do the round, and then
Yeah.
she'll find me on that rock again.
Right.
So it reminds me of that. So I would be with you.
Cheat the system.
Yeah, I'd be with you on getting off that treadmill, and maybe I'll watch the movie when I'm at home and I'm comfortable.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because
Be
how are you
comfortable. It's a
going to
movie.
enjoy it
Thank
when
you.
you're trying to catch your breath?
Thank
And
you.
you're sweaty, and there's no fun. But clearly, she's just revealed that she's always been a queen.
Oh, winner, Queen Tammy. What is coming up on
I tell you what, I've got to rebuff that. Because I'm actually very athletic and very, very sporty.
I love it.
But I just
love
have netball, squash, tennis, all of that. I'm that
Oh,
girl.
wow.
But I have my moments. I've got to feel the move of the spirit.
Hey, we must.
Oh, that is so amazing.
In order to get onto that treadmill. But
We must arrange a sports day, Channel Africa,
that would be lovely.
and be active. Maybe 5-a-side. I don't know what, but we must do something.
If it's netball or squash or tennis, I'm in.
We're
Netball, I'm
within.
in, but I'll play centre because high challenges.
Oh, but you get to, but you'll run the most. That's what will happen.
Yes,
so I
I
guess
was-
you're perhaps the fittest.
I was brilliant centre, actually.
I love
A
that.
team centre.
I love that.
For many years.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know my job. I'm going to be coach. Me, I'm just on the side clapping hands for y'all and saying, "You can do it. You can do it. You can do it, Tammy."
Oh, is
You
that
can
the
do it,
kind of
Matsai.
coach that you'd be? Not
Yes.
the out.
No. You
Not that
can
version.
do it. No.
Coach
No.
motivator.
Well, awesome. Look, let's get into business, right?
Yes.
Nigeria is going to be banning the export of shea nuts for 6 months. Now, you know, banning the export,
Why?
yes. Well, because they produce 40% of the world's annual crop, but only account for 1% of the actual profits, which is a $6.5 billion market. So it is. So instead of exporting the raw nuts, which are going to be used for shea butter, for hair, cosmetics, etc., they are now going to start actually producing the shea butter themselves, and the returns will then obviously be a whole lot better, and then that can then contribute to the GDP of the country. So really positive strides for Nigeria, but I wonder what impact this is going to have on the global beauty market. 40% of...
That's quite a chunk.
It is a chunk. And how is the industry going to react? And where are the alternate sources of shea butter that they are going to be tapping into? We'll be exploring that and a whole lot more in African Business this afternoon.
But I love the fact that they are now taking those raw materials and turning it into something valuable and then saying, okay, now let's sell it.
Come
That
on,
makes more
Africa.
sense.
Why has it taken us for so
That
long?
makes more sense.
But let us say thank you, because this is where we're supposed to have been.
Yeah.
It's all part of the beneficiation conversation.
Yeah.
So now finally action being put to that word.
Love it. It's 4 p.m. Central African Time. From us, the Upsiders, Mmatsheko. Happy spring. We'll do this again tomorrow. Upsiders, we'll see you tomorrow. African Business coming up next with Tammy Ngubeni.
is a very good afternoon to you, Kenya. Good afternoon, Ghana, Eritrea, Somalia. Good afternoon, Cote d'Ivoire, DRC. Good afternoon, Cameroon. Good afternoon, Africa. Welcome to Africa in Business on Channel Africa. I'm Tammy Ngubeni, and this is Africa in Business. Let's start off at the news desk with your latest local, continental, and international news. Here is Matapelo Mahape.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tammy. Top stories this hour. Besigye boycotts Ugandan treason trial and thousands of protests across the Indonesia. Good afternoon. Jailed Ugandan opposition figure Kizza Besigye boycotted the start of his treason trial today, accusing the presiding judge of bias. The trial of Besigye and his aide, Obed Lutale, was supposed to start today after months of delays, but both defendants decided to boycott the proceedings after the judge, Emmanuel Bagumba, refused to recuse himself. Judiciary spokesperson James Erimie Mawanda said there was no justification for the bias accusations and confirmed that Bagumba had refused to recuse himself. Besigye's months-long detention has shone a spotlight on President Yoweri Museveni's human rights record ahead of polls early next year, in which Museveni's 80-year-old is seeking re-election. And Lesotho's already crowded political scene has welcomed another new party, the Basotho's Development Front. Its leader, Butada Mahlala, says that the party's registration marks a turning point in political participation. The rise of smaller parties has steadily chipped away at the dominance of the nationalist and Congress movements that shaped Lesotho's politics since its independence in 1966. Reporter Rapalang Radebe speaks on new leader Butada Mahlala.
He's a businessman in the mining fraternity, and looks like newly found wealth, of which he says he is willing to share with ordinary Basotho, with the people. He has been campaigning quite hectically and trying his level best to assist in those who are less fortunate. So I think on that wheel he has really appeased a lot. But now there is a new constituency of people who are party hopping. Anyone who sees like there is an opportunity.
And at least 70 Gambian migrants have drowned after their boat capsized over the Mauritanian coast, underscoring the deadly risks thousands continue to face along the dangerous Atlantic route to Europe. Onto this now, the Pan-South African Language Board, Pan-SALB, has called for sign language to be taught at schools to break communication barriers and ensure inclusivity. Pan-SALB has launched the Deaf Awareness Month campaign under the theme No Human Rights Without Sign Language Rights. The 5-day South African Sign Language training program for parents, families and teachers of deaf children commenced today. Pan-SALB Language Executive Head Julia Stantile.
We broaden into the whole disability environment, that people should be recognized and be understood from their own basis, from who they are, from their own humanity, not from their own disabilities. And that's why we emphasize an African philosophy where you see the person first before you can see anything. So we need to re-establish that philosophy where you don't describe a person on the basis of the structure or the physicality, or the ability that they have to do something.
And thousands of Indonesians have gathered for anti-government protests across the country in defiance of an expected crackdown by security forces. Police checkpoints have been set up and soldiers have been stationed around Jakarta, where a big student demonstration is planned. A week of clashes have left at least 6 people dead. The BBC's Astra Destra Anggrasti reports.
In Jakarta, only around 500 people were still seen gathered in front of the parliament building as of this afternoon, a much smaller crowd compared to the past several days of protest. But thousands more rallied in major cities, including Bandung in West Java and Yogyakarta. International solidarity is also building with a vigil planned today in New York to honor Afan Kurniawan, a motorcycle taxi driver whose death has become a symbol of the movement.
A recap of your top story. Jailed Ugandan opposition figure Kizza Besigye boycotted the start of his treason trial today, accusing the presiding judge of bias. For any news stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I am Matapela Mahape.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
And coming up in your sports news this hour, Liverpool have agreed a British transfer record to sign striker Alexander Isak from Newcastle United, while South African swimmer Peter Kotsia has urged more corporate sponsors to come on board and back the sport. Details at 4:30.
Stay ahead with Africa in Business, where Tamengubeni unpacks your go-to source for Africa's economic trends and development.
It is exactly 7 minutes after 4 p.m. Central African Time. Coming up this afternoon on Africa in Business, a look at the 2026 Africa Mining Indaba, where partnerships are key to what is going to be happening with interactions between government, investors, as well as mining companies. The entire objective is to unlock the growth and the potential in African mining. So we'll be chatting this afternoon to Kwasi Apomfo, who's head of metals and mining at Bloomberg NEF. Also this afternoon, a look at the latest moves by the Nigerian government. They're going to be banning the export of shea nuts for the next 6 months in an effort really to add value to the industry in Nigeria. Instead of exporting nuts, they now want to export shea butter and fully produced skin and hair products. But how is that going to impact the trade balance globally? We'll focus on that. But first up, a look at what we are wanting to do, and that is hear from you. Yes, we do. Are you on Instagram? Are you on X? Are you on Facebook? So are we. You'll find us at Channel Africa 1 on Instagram, as well as X and YouTube, and on Facebook you'll find us at Channel Africa. If you've got any stories as well that you'd like us to share with you and those around the diaspora, do send us this email at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Welcome to it. This is your Monday edition of Africa in Business on Channel Africa.
African enterprise meets global opportunity. Africa in Business on Channel Africa.
Now, the Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies, Solly Malatsi, says press freedom without interference and censorship is essential to ensure a thriving democracy. Malatsi delivered the keynote address at the start of the M20 summit at Melrose Arch in Johannesburg, South Africa this morning. The two-day international conference summit is running on the sidelines of the G20 program in South Africa. It will focus on the role of media and journalism to foster information integrity as a cornerstone for human rights, effective governance, international cooperation, as well as public trust, all of that which is needed for social and economic development. Sasha Naidu has more.
The aim of the M20 conference is to amplify the voices of emerging G20 economies and other media stakeholders. They will explore actionable proposals that align with G20 priorities and address the unique challenges developing nations face. The summit topics will cover the issues raised in the M20 policy briefs and other matters related to the role of media and information integrity in the G20. Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies, Solly Malatsi, says it's pivotal for media freedom to be safeguarded at all costs.
Truth in information is a public good that underpins all of our other public goods in society. If information integrity is the foundation of democracy and development, then an independent media is its foremost guardian. A free press broadcasting a range of voices and perspectives is not just a luxury, but it's a necessity for thriving democracies. We must emphasize that even at this forum, that media freedom and diversity are essential safeguards of truth, and that we need to shield this with everything we have.
Malatsi says the only way to ensure media sustainability is for government to partner with the private sector. Accordingly, working with the private sector will offer solutions to keep media companies financially stable, Malatsi says.
So we must work together as governments and the private sector to support these sustainable models for independent media. These could include innovative funding mechanisms, fair competition policies, and ensuring that dominant tech platforms do not unfairly siphon away advertising revenues that journalism depends on.
The Forum on Information and Democracy says the only way to effectively reach the G20 presidency goals is by tackling the crisis of media integrity and sustainability head on. Policy Director at the Forum, Katrina Zugel.
And only if we tackle this information integrity crisis, only if we tackle the crisis of sustainability and media financing and then media freedom, where media are increasingly under attack, on the one hand financially, but also by actually harassment, violent attacks, can we tackle the G20 presidency goals. So the objective of today's conference is to bring attention to the topics of information integrity to the G20 leaders. We really want this to be a key element of G20 negotiations.
On Tuesday, day 2 of discussions will continue with industry experts and stakeholders before the next steps are announced and a declaration made. Sasha Naidu, SABC News, Johannesburg.
It's gone exactly 12 minutes after 4 p.m. Central African Time. Now, as Africa's mining sector looks ahead to the 2026 Africa Mining Indaba, partnerships are emerging as a key driver of growth and transformation. Collaboration between governments, investors and mining companies will play a critical role in shaping the future of the continent's mining industry. Joining us this afternoon is Kwasi Ampofo, Head of Metals and Mining at Bloomberg NEF, who will share insights on the trends as well as the opportunities and challenges that come with unlocking the power of partnerships in African mining. Good to have you with us. Welcome to Africa in Business.
Thank you very much. Thanks. And hello to all your listeners.
So, Kwasi, in your view, which types of partnerships are currently having the most impact on Africa's mining sector?
I think historically we've seen a significant level of partnership between mining companies and governments, and then and vice versa, government working with mining companies in order to support them through the permitting process, in order to ensure that mining companies are able to convert exploration into fully producing mines. And I think ultimately we've seen that partnerships evolve, right? Mining companies are going the extra mile to now enter into partnerships with their communities, with their financiers, and a whole level of multi-layered partnerships.
When you mention communities, are you talking about the communities where they'll be mining, the areas where they'll be mining?
Correct. The host communities of these mines.
Because that also still remains a huge, bone of contention there. How are these partnerships unfolding? How are they transforming to ensure that they are actually beneficial for those communities as well? And are governments making sure that whatever needs to be ring-fenced around those partnerships actually is done?
Yeah, so I think it's important you raise this because we at Mining Indaba, our sole purpose is to be able to create that platform that elevate the voices of these communities. And at Mining Indaba 2025, for example, for the first time, we actually brought traditional leaders to share the keynote stage with industry participants in order for them to voice out what they expect from mining companies. And then also for mining companies to be also have the privilege to listen to them. So I think there are some companies that obviously are doing it the way communities would hope they do it, and there are those that there's still a lot to be done. But then we hope that Mining Indaba 2026 will certainly be that platform where communities speak to industry leaders and industry leaders get to listen to communities.
And how can collaborations between all the various stakeholders, government, investors, mining companies, how can those collaborations actually unlock growth in the African mining sector?
I think the theme for this year, obviously, it's more timely than ever, right? The only way the industry can move forward is through synergies. And for us, that synergies would only come if we have meaningful partnership across the whole value chain. Okay, so you've got, if demand is talking to supply, if supply is talking to policymakers, if policymakers is talking to communities, we believe that that synergy is what would create the Africa mining industry that we all desire. And that is what we are looking to unlock at next year's mining in Daba.
And as you do that, what are the challenges that you've experienced or that you foresee in forming these effective partnerships in the sector, and how can those be overcome?
I think the biggest challenge the industry faces is operating in silos. So you've got one part of the industry that has existed on its own over the last multi-decades, and you've got government also operating on its own, and then you've got the downstream operating on its own. I think the biggest challenge we foresee is that though we can bring all these stakeholders into one room, they might not be able to have effective dialogue. Because bringing them together is one thing, effective dialogue that delivers results is also another thing. And I think for us, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to curate an agenda that actually doesn't just bring people to the table. It enables them, or it provides them with the toolkits to actually have those meaningful conversations. So what I would say to your listeners is that the agenda is going to come out middle of September. And I think keep an eye on it, where we are hoping that by curating that targeted agenda, we would be able to actually deliver value, not just partnership for the sake of partnerships.
And I wonder where competition comes in here, Akwasi, because it is business ultimately. And how do competitors collaborate in an effective way that is beneficial for continental growth, yet still securing their own bottom lines?
So permit me to introduce a word that I've become very accustomed to, which is competitive collaboration. So obviously, the process of digging ore and converting it to whether platinum or gold will still remain competitive as an industry. Companies would have to do that on their own. However, what we find is that